Okay, then I can just teeny tiny, right?
No, you can make it big again. Just maximize it, and then just minimize it.
Oh, so I don't have to watch it.
There you go. You can close that.
Oh, I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not really.
Okay.
And then you can actually close the YouTube window as well.
Just teeny tiny, right?
No,
Close this.
you can. There you go.
All right. Good.
Oh, that's crazy the way it does that, like it's a big circle.
What?
Like that's a piece of the circle. Obviously, that's not a circle, but I'm saying.
What is this? Yeah, why is it?
That's the map from the last hearing before.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Our first case,
Do we have any in-persons?
this
Yeah,
is
first
in person. It shows the agent, but it is the owner that is here.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm guessing you want me to wait until Kathy gets here to,
Yeah, as soon as she gets here, you can start
Okay.
the routine.
What is the
All right.
property ID?
it is
52.
34888.
Quiet here. I know, we're being good.
You have a live person?
Yep. She's live.
And
Yes.
since the governor declared a disaster area in 32 counties, does that mean you have to go and do this assessment of damage for prorated annual?
No, the taxing entities order disaster reappraisals if they want. You gotta go out and do a disaster reappraisal. They did have us do that for the small, like water spout tornado thing that happened in Holiday Beach about a year ago, because they needed an estimate of damage. So they kind of used us as a free-ish way to.
This was just passed into law the last time around, that you could, that for any natural disaster or
Oh, no, you can be,
it was your taxes would be prorated.
oh, I see, yeah. So that would also still require for the entities to order for a disaster reappraisal.
Really?
The entities have to ask for it.
Yep.
So that's who we need to go after.
And they've done that a couple of times for different things. Like I said, they did it in Holiday Beach. They asked for us to do it. They've asked for us to do the Lamar Improvement District because they wanted to raise bonds. And so they had us do a reappraisal in like October or something like that. So
Proration of the taxes, I didn't read that into it. It was, had to be requested, and it's interesting.
well, I mean, if there's extent like damage that we end up catching it and it's still there on January 1st.
No,
Then
this
no.
is a proration.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if
Now,
it's,
it would
if
be
it's-
prorate this year's taxes.
yeah, they'll have to get us to do some reappraisal of when the damage is, or else.
They even set out codes, 60, 90.
See, and I read
You know what?
that it was, that the appraisal district is who got to, once it was declared that specific,
Yeah,
that it was the appraisal district who decided whether or not they were going to do it.
Yeah, no, and the the code percentages, the
It was in
50,
the
75, 95, and
Yeah.
100. Those are, I did that. That was
Which one?
No, I'm not talking about Harvey codes.
I know, but like, that's where they got that. They got that from discussions that they had with us before that was written, was how do you estimate damage on, value of damaged properties? And there was the only pre-existing method was done by the IRS. They have a way of doing it, and it's not very accurate.
I think she's bringing it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that, they're gonna have to
Here
order
we
one.
are.
If anything, I would
The
think they
table
would just order it for the places most heavily affected. Waterfront.
I think we need to check on that for this resolution.
Tara Masters?
Tara, yes.
Oh, very good.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me just turn the volume down. So glad you guys can call me a little early.
Well, we got some administrative to go through here, so just bear with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Opening a hearing on case number 2020-852, account 34888. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protest today. The four of us are the board. Eamon represents the appraisal district. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience. The survey may be completed using a survey form and emailed to ptad.communications@cpa.texas.gov or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary, although we do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. We have all your evidence, right?
Yes, I took a couple of pictures off my phone if there's still any questions after,
can't-
but I didn't enter them, but they were
No,
taken when I
Can't
visited.
use them
Okay,
unless you have some way of.
I printed them up already. I just didn't put them online because I didn't have dates or times when I took them. I just know I saw the property in June.
Okay, if you want to use them, you need to give them to Val right now.
Oh, no, I have the other stuff that my husband uploaded, I thought would be enough, but if it
Okay.
wasn't, I took these pictures.
Well, you can't introduce things after this point in time. This is-
Cannot,
Cannot.
okay.
He's saying right now you can, but
Okay,
once we start the hearing,
I cannot.
you can.
Okay, I'll do it just in case.
Okay. ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 4166F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. I believe you have a sheet there.
Yes, sir.
If you'd state your name and then read that line.
I, Tara Masters, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
I, Eamon Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
And you hold a appraiser's license in the state of Texas?
No,
The governor made me ask.
well, I guess that's good.
I don't know. Take down to your table, and then right there in front of you is a chart.
My glasses get foggy.
It is a chart with 4 columns on it,
Yes, sir.
right there.
Yes,
That's the procedure that we're going to follow throughout the hearing.
okay.
So the question is, do you want to go first, or do you want the district to go first?
when I say go first, does that just mean like I'm just saying my information, or I'm just stating why I'm here? Or?
No, you're giving your presentation.
Oh, okay. I'll just have you all go first.
Okay,
Oh. The subject property is 34888. It's a condo in Ventura. Condo. That's right. And last year it was valued at 146,520. It's still for 2020. It's not finished. It's 50%. The notice value was $272,060. Scroll down the picture. It's those. It's like the end of Mazatlan. And
Do you know which one's
Which
hers?
one is hers?
Mine's the number 3, so on this side.
This-
And
is it the ones you're mousing over right there?
yes, and then that's my dock, and I only have 40% of that dock. You can see part of it's down in the water, the one that looks kind of messed up.
So the next thing we have is the sales comps. The best comp is the one that's right next to her. It sold in 2018. Sort of a speculative thing, obviously, because it wasn't livable in 2018. But it sold for $282,500.
Like 282
$282,500.
and 18.
And that was this December 20th of 2018, so it was only like 10 days before dating appraisal. Or for that prior year. The next comp is 28 Sand Dollar, and just another condo nearby. And then 28 Sand Dollar has another one for sale that sold, and it was 504 Lauderdale, sold in 2019. So the median of all of these, it ends up indicating a value of 290. You notice the range there, it's indicating values for the subject at 273, 310, 297, and 282. I understand the damage and everything, but people are buying these condos. The equity grid just shows the, this is apartment 3, it's got apartment 2, 4, and 5, and they're all exactly the same because they're super identical. There's nothing really to distinguish them other than maybe their situation. And then after that is the condo sales ratio report. It shows we're at 93% and 96%, depending on how you do the average for condos in Aransas County for this year. People are buying a little bit of baked in cost of buying the future, but that's where we're at with this one. You need something else?
I do need, Ms. Masters to sign and print your name there.
Did she say it out loud?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's pretty much it. All the evidence we have.
Cindy?
Okay, and I'm sorry, I just need it to be noted that the affidavit shows incorrect appraised market value and value and unequal compared with other properties. But the protest form, which I'm looking for, was it an online
Mhm.
protest? Okay, so it just shows Q2, appraisal ratio exceeding the median level. So that's all we can rule on, okay? All right, so now, ma'am, you've got, I'm sorry, and I just had to clarify that, I'm sorry, okay. So you have 2 minutes to cross-examine and then 5 minutes to present, so you basically have 7 minutes.
Before my time starts, will you explain what you just clarified? Because that's gonna make things a little different, right? So if I can't talk to you about unequal valuation and error in calculation, and you guys can only rule on ratio, Is that gonna make a difference?
We can only
What
rule on,
happens
we
today?
can only rule on market value.
Or
That's all.
equity.
No,
No, the other one. Here's what the
Comp set.
here's why this even came up, okay? Because there is your letter of protest, which is the first thing you do that says, okay, I disagree and this is why,
Right,
okay? On that, when you filled out that form, you apparently only marked Q2, which is it isn't the market value, it's the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal. So it's equity, okay?
okay,
And that isn't, I mean, that was something that you or whoever filled out the form did, okay?
okay,
Then, when you sent in your affidavit of evidence, with your evidence, but it doesn't matter because you're here anyway. On that one, I guess, you marked both Q1 and Q2, okay? But we contacted our attorney, not on yours, on something prior. And he said, all we can go with is what's on the protest letter. That is the legal letter where,
did I know that? I mean, how come I wasn't informed of that couldn't be changed before today? Because I would have,
No one has.
no one's been informed of that. It's just, it's just,
but
he's
then
just,
that's wrong. I need to be able to argue for these two other things, not just that. Without you telling me that, how can I
I
make
don't
my
wanna
case?
like, speak for you or anything, but it seems like most of what you're talking about in your evidence is an equity argument.
Okay,
The two things, there's equity, which is like, this isn't being appraised the same as other stuff.
right,
And
which
then
is
there's
what my,
market value, which is the other thing, which is saying, this number is wrong, people won't pay this much for it. That's a separate thing. When you request a hearing and you check that box, you're granting them the jurisdiction to make a ruling on some grounds.
on whatever
And
ground.
just because the one that was checked was equity, that's what they have the authority to rule on. They can't, there's other boxes. There's boxes for like denial of an appraisal. They can't rule on that. Or denial of an exemption, sorry. So that they can't rule on that because it wasn't, the hearing was not requested for.
See,
But I think that what you're saying is basically an equity thing anyway.
okay.
Yeah.
See, you're talking my husband's like, he's the tax attorney, but you get me.
Yeah.
So
No, I
he's the
think- I
one who
think you're-
filled out stuff and he tried to explain stuff to me. Now you want to talk to me about special education and child development and grief and bereavement and loss? I'm there. But this is like speaking Greek.
No, I think you're okay.
So,
Can we start the clock now?
yes, please.
Okay. And so you have 7 minutes, okay?
Okay,
Because he presented, now it's your turn. You can ask questions and then you get to present.
right, no,
Okay.
everything that he saw, I believe that we saw, and my husband and I discussed. The concern is if you look in the evidence, my husband, under the little paragraphs under unequal valuation, even though I know you can't rule on that, he showed other comps, and at the value that you have us at, our square footage is valued way too high for an unfinished unit. And our unit is completely unfinished. We have not started anything. We just sent the, what do you call it, the punch list to the developer. Our neighbor, the one who paid remarkably too much, number 4, who has half of our damaged dock. By the way, they have 60% of the dock that we're getting valued for, but it's damaged. It's down in the water due to Hurricane Harvey. Somebody else's boat knocked out our pier beam. They are starting to do their work. So if you did look at these pictures, you can see insulation on their half of the joining wall. But our pictures and our unit is not finished. In fact, right now, we don't even have some windows in because the contractor, for some reason, either didn't put it in or it fell right back out or whatever. So the value that you have us at 272, first of all, is way too high per square foot for an unfinished unit. The other things that my husband put in there was when we did get a bid to refinish, partially refinish. My husband also likes to do, the tile and things like that himself. The square footage with that bid was still less with it partially finished than what you have it valued at now, with it completely unfinished. And then, again, I also already mentioned the dock over assessment. Right now, it's completely unusable. Even if you value half of it as ours, we will have to repair it. I think my husband explained to me that even the value, because we have to repair it, you can't give it the full value that you have on it, because you'd have to minus the value of what it would take for us to repair it. And again, it's not even our full dock. We have about 40% of it if you look at it and look at straight from the joined wall of the condo straight out into the water. Yeah, see, there's that. And so our kids can't go on it. We can't go on it. It's useless right now. We also know that you have agreed to a $210,000 value in the same stretch, that same group of our condos of number one. You've already agreed to a $210,000 value. And that's already on your books and agreed to. So we would like to at least have that value so that it's fair and equal. Because I felt like my husband explained to me that that's the job of this board, is to make sure taxpayers get their fair value, not every person having to fight for you guys to take more money than you should. So I guess that's my information.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
The 210 valuation, okay, you're saying that was on unit 1?
Yes, ma'am.
That's,
Of ours. No, I'm sorry, opposite end, unit 6. Unit 1.
or is it unit 10?
No, it's in our same, the ones that we all get docks. If you go back to those pictures that he shows that, so, sorry, I did misspeak. So,
These pictures?
no,
Not
the other
picture of
one,
the actual units.
the aerial view, the one that looks like this.
That's right, it's just on the wrong.
There.
Okay, so I'm here with the broken dock, I'm number 3. So it goes, I misspoke. So this is number 1, 2, I'm 3. 3 here, comes out straight, 40% of that dock. And then 4, 5, and 6. Carlos owns 6. De Leon, and when he protested, it was agreed to already this year for $210,000.
For his structure?
Yes, because his is also unfinished, and he showed me his too. I went in June when I took my pictures that I had on my phone. He let me see who's already finishing out theirs, what builder they chose, things like that. And he let me see his. He let me see not number 4 next to mine, but he let me see some of these that usually are valued even a little less than these ones because we all get our own boat slips. They can't.
Excuse me, was that in the same state of disrepair as yours?
Go to
is?
appraiser meeting room.
Yes, ma'am.
For value.
Yes. The builder just had us all put in our punch list. I think
Who's the assignment?
I think I'm calling them the right thing. So we went and took pictures and everything on July.
So
It was right before my grandson's birthday, July 14th.
can you
Again.
tell us what the value was on the daily on unit?
Oh, yeah, what was the initial notice value on that?
Please.
Go to values,
I'm wondering if he told us the wrong unit.
go to values,
I know we did.
221.
We did
Look at the improvement.
But not on,
do-
because that's the one we
Yeah.
reviewed, right?
I
We
just wanna
did
see
some
what-
back on the back, so now
Maybe they
Okay, and then show me the land real quick.
I don't know.
I'm hoping that it wasn't misrepresented.
And then go to hers.
Should have been done by them. We didn't do it. We didn't do anything on that side.
No, I know. That's what I'm like sitting here going, what?
Okay, and go to
And-
land.
I could be the liar here and I can assume that Carlos has that one. Maybe Carlos has one of these, but he took me into that one. I thought that was his.
Oh, so you don't know that that was the one that
Yeah,
had
but
the
go
two?
No,
go
but
to
I
the
thought
other
it
guy's land
was.
real quick. The other
We
guy.
have not lived here
Carlos
for
dude.
since, Hurricane
Where's his
Harvey. We
land
haven't
value
been down
certificate?
here. So
No,
I
the
could be
land value's like
mistaken
96,000.
on which one is his. but he took me into that one, number 6, so it would be number 6.
They're pulling
See?
it up. I just,
The evidence here shows unit
Click on that.
10,
Oh, okay,
which
Okay.
is,
which is a totally different deal.
yeah.
over here, because they don't have the vote slip, but they're the identical units. Identical, we voted to have identical units, identical square footage, there might be a slight square footage based on end versus middle, but we all made identical units, because we were having problems with owners wanting to
Amy,
change.
did you hear that? That it's in the information, it actually says unit 10, which would be the other second, would be the
So
side.
Carlos could be from there. Don't quote, I mean, I could be mistaken, I thought I was
Show me
walking into
the-
his.
Carlos guy. One more time.
And he's a very honest, good guy, so I'm not
Show me
trying
who
to
it's-
speak.
I know we didn't do any
Property.
of those, so that's why I'm like going,
Summary? I know.
Somebody's gonna
He doesn't
surprise
have a
them.
leaseholder here.
They're like,
It's not that, he has this weird adjustment.
Summary, where is that? It's got something else.
Yeah. What's the PID on that guy, real quick?
34895.
Yeah, in response to that, the other unit at the end of her building, it's in the same building, was settled by one of our appraisers here previously for 210. And I don't see any reason why we can't do the same thing for hers. So, good for the goose is good for the gander, same building. So, what seems fair.
okay, are you good with that number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 210 even?
Yes, it was 210.
And then, I'm just curious when that was done.
Well, there's some sort of strange adjustment in that guy's account, and I don't think it should be in there. I think his property is undersized.
But I remember that last name, and we did do some,
No, it's
If
got,
we have 210 as agreed to, let's proceed.
okay. So, on account number 34888, based upon what we heard from the appraisal district and from the property owner, I make a motion that we adjust the 2020 value down to $210,000. Oh, and I believe that takes into consideration the possibility of the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal.
Second.
In favor?
Okay,
We're done.
so you go home and tell that husband of yours that you fought hard, but by golly, you came home with the number you wanted. Okay?
Yeah, no, he's already on my bad list.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So you go, okay, honey, I saved this much, so half of that, let's see.
He's a good guy, he just says better be glad he married a good, strong, independent woman.
Do you do stuff with special ed?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Do you do anything with special ed?
I was a high school level special education teacher, life skills class for 4 years before my husband was transferred to Krakow, Poland, which is where he is, for Shell Oil.
Cool.
So yeah, so we live there right now, which is another reason we haven't been around. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hopefully I don't see you again in this circumstance, but if I do, I will be nice.
Okay, and also, if you would fill out the survey,
Sure,
we would
absolutely.
really appreciate your feedback.
Sure, absolutely. Will it be sent to me via email?
It will come with your hearings,
Okay.
the notice, or you can do it here. Eamon, we need to get YouTube up. I don't think it is. Thank you, have a great day.
Thank you.
Maybe closed it too soon. I wonder what Shell's doing with Poland. I wonder what Shell is doing with Poland.
Who did that?
Poland, like
Poland.
Poland?
Where's that?
Oh,
Poland.
Poland over Eastern Europe, yeah.
Yes.
Who did the
Yeah,
210?
I didn't realize that's what she said.
what's that?
Who created the 210 value?
Ray. And I'm not sure what the basis was.
I know, we can't, but I'm upset.
Nice to get blindsided.
I know.
Do we have anybody else coming in?
And that one, there have, oh, anyway.
Yeah, it's like at least two more.
Hmm?
It's like two more at first.
If they show up.
That's not okay.
Oh, man.
This is another in-person.
Oh, okay.
Are they coming right now?
No, I need to get them checked in.
Okay.
Going
I'm curious if we can get a date on when that was done.
What? When what was done?
Well, not,
When what was done, Cindy?
Yeah, the 210.
I can tell you if you.
well, it's also, it's.
The settlement
unfortunate
statement.
Adjustment, because where they started was really different. For some reason, that account has like $60,000 less land value, even though they all have a 14 common interest in the whole. So I don't know why there's a weird adjustment in the account, but that'll need to be taken out, dealt with or something. Gonna throw everything off.
Oh my goodness.
Is it being difficult?
Mm-hmm.
Because the 210 was, that guy was only noticed at like 220.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, where'd the other 60,000 go? It's just weird adjustment in there. But it's not too uncommon. People immediately let us know if there's a positive adjustment, or a negative adjustment. They just go, I don't know why my condo's the third less than yours. They just don't say anything. I'll punch you.
All right, I'm gonna go check this person in.
Okay, is this a, do you know what the name is?
Yes.
I've got it listed as a PLCC.
Right, it's Gary Sweetman. Is
Gary?
who I'm bringing in.
What's the?
Okay.
It's 1720. It's on.
Thank you.
Wait, but will you tell me that? You don't have to tell me right now.
623.
Okay, cool, thank you.
What the heck?
Wait, which account are we doing?
17202.
It's on page 5, the middle one.
Huh?
No, it's the top one.
It's something.
I'm sorry, it's the top one on page 5.
Victometry
I'm
just
sorry,
like
Anna.
cut out.
Okay.
Getting excited trying to run through these. We did good Thursday, remember? We were like, we were flying. Oh, goodness, that's interesting. We're sitting there going, There's no way. Oh, Lordy. Is that a Michael
What?
that thing with all those little bitty, the one next to it, it's got the little red square rectangles with numbers on each one?
Oh, there? Looks like a, what is that?
I don't know.
Where is it?
That looks like condos. That looks like gables on Copenhagen.
No, it's an empty.
Oh, I know that is.
Empty lot.
That's the condos out on 1780.
Yeah, it's a lot next to him.
Oh, and they're real pretty looking, right?
They're nice inside, yeah.
I haven't been inside, but I've driven past.
They're nice. They're big, huge. The garages are like big enough to put a boat in.
Really? Each one's?
They're real tall and real deep, so some people use the back of part of it as another room. There's a basement, which is really good. Some
Yes,
people
the
put it in.
table you're going to sit
They're
at
nice,
is
very nice.
right behind the door. So
There you
you'll
go.
make another right.
Okay, here they come.
And that's where you will be.
Hello.
Gary?
Good day.
Okay. Just checking, make sure I got the right person.
Yeah, today.
Okay. We have a little administrative to go through before we get to the heart of the matter.
Okay.
Just bear with us. You ready?
Yes.
Opening a hearing on case ID 2020-808, account 17207. This hearing is being recorded. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. The board, Gary, is the four of us around here.
Okay.
Eamon represents the district. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience. Survey may be completed using the survey form and emailed to bcad.communications@cpa.texas.gov or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate you taking it for us. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with tax code section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Is all of your evidence been turned into
Presented to the district.
to the district?
Yeah, they have.
Oh, very good. Just didn't want to check. ARB members who are considering protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath.
If you will state your name, you're going to be saying this statement, which is also written here in larger letters, and then sign and print your name.
Hi, Gary Swickman, do solemnly swear affirm that the testimony shall present to the appraisal group work for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Thank you, sir.
I, Eamon Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Do you hold a appraiser's license in Texas?
No.
Okay. In front of you, taped under the table, under that paper right in front of you there, is the procedures we're going to use for this hearing.
Sure.
And you get to choose who goes first, you or the district.
District can go for it.
District goes first.
Subject is 17207. It's a vacant land lot on 1781 Bayfront, vacant land, unimproved lot. It was noticed at 277,700. And it's the one we were just looking at.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's okay. Just go to the sales. We have anything that worked.
that's it. So
Yeah, it's the one that was just up there. Yeah.
Q01 check.
Yep, yep. And the 17207 is the subject. The comps that were used, one is on Loop 1781, and it does have a home, which had to be, or at least some sort of improvement on it that had to be taken off. And the other two are sort of semi-remote land on Fulton Beach Road, situated similarly, different bay, obviously, but the indicated value, median value for the subject is 314,750. Scott kindly put the price per square foot of each lot down at the bottom. And you can see we're about $1 below the average price per square foot there. The next is the equity grid, and it's just other lots nearby. This land is on a schedule. It's going to be exactly equitable with everything around it. Median equity value is 277,700, and that's right where it is. And following that is a sales ratio report for Coconut Bay. So it shows we are at 99.1% for market activity for real property on that Copano Bay region, which is that strip of Loop 1781 past Copano Ridge, but doesn't include the inland stuff. And it was brought to the district's attention that there's I have a note in here on the front page that was included by the appraiser, and it says the last sale price was in 2019 for 194, and it says that it's a substitute trustee sale. And so the reason that wasn't used is because it's not a market sale.
Not a what sale?
It's not a market sale. It's not an arm's length transaction. It's not like one party's trying to maximize their gain and the other party's trying to maximize their gain. It's just not a market sale.
So a substitute, well, I'll ask you later, go on, I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
So a substitute trustee sale would be what situation?
Well, I mean, we can ask.
Oh,
There are a
okay.
lot of different reasons, but yeah, I mean, do you mind
Yeah,
sharing with us what those
the reasons
situations
are
are?
written down. It basically went to auction with the trustee,
Got it.
and there were 14 other people at the auction bidding on it, and you're telling me that it's not a sale?
Okay.
No, I'm not saying it's not
No,
a sale.
no.
I'm not saying it's not a sale.
You
No.
said it wasn't a justified sale.
No, I said it's not a market sale. It's a specific
If two
meaning. It means a
people,
particular
You have to
thing.
have two bids in any sale. If two people bid on it, it's a qualified sale. That's the law of Texas.
So the law gives a specific definition of a market sale.
Correct.
There's a criteria it has to meet.
Correct.
And one is that it has to be exposed to the open market for long enough for a willing buyer to find a willing seller.
It was.
Okay, was it listed?
Was listed with the banks. The banks turned around, put it in the trustee put it into the courts for basically 12, 14 weeks.
But that's what I'm saying, is that an auction is not.
It's publicly listed.
Well, I mean, I'm not giving you an opinion, I'm telling you as a matter of law, like how these things are defined is what is and is not a market sale. That's not up to me. It's not an opinion. I don't get to decide something is or isn't a market sale.
I could understand if it was taxes, okay? And it was taxes not paid. I totally understand your point. $6,000 for a $500,000 piece of land. I totally get the differential. This isn't a differential. This is a fair market value because it's still paid for $200,000. It wasn't like it sold for $6,000 because taxes weren't paid.
Right.
That's why I'm saying it is a true market that you got at that moment in time.
Okay. So what we need to do, and I'm so sorry, I was just asking for a definition, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. So at this point, it's now your turn, and what you get now is, okay, so you get 2 minutes to cross-examine, and then you get 5 minutes to present. So you basically have 7 minutes to tell us why the value should be lowered.
I think we went through the first part of it, which was, it was, in my opinion, a fair market sale. It was advertised for at least 14 weeks, publicly through the courts, and at public hearings at every bank, because it goes on the list. So that was basically taken care of. The comparables you use in Fulton Beach Road is nothing incomparable to 1781. This land here has condos next to it. The land that you have doesn't have any condos next to it, which will take the value down. And also next door to it, it's undeveloped land with a whole bunch of junk sitting on it, which also has devalued the property. And you can see it all there. This picture was taken a long time ago. That pier is actually still on this land.
Yeah, that's last year.
Hold on, we'll fix it, though.
That, I said, all the condo material still sits on this land because all the roof material is still lying under the grass that they refuse to clean it up. So that's basically why I'm saying that this land is actually at the fair price of what it should be. It's not $10,000, not a steal, not a throwaway. I've had it on the market. There were no offers. We went down to 277, no offers. So it's just that the person asked me to come represent it because I know so much about the land. And that pier doesn't exist. It's all torn up.
What was it on the market for?
It's been on the market for 345, 325, 299, 275. Just kept going down and down. Then the hurricane came along and just dumped all the debris next to it. And I said, the bank, hey, nothing I'm gonna do
The
with it.
bank had it that whole time?
Sorry?
Did the bank have it that whole time?
Yeah, and every bill was paid and they just said they didn't want it and they called the note. They said, we don't want the piece of land as far as the mortgage, and they called the note. So basically I said, okay, you called the note. I basically went to auction. They got paid off. Nothing is owing on it.
Okay, did you have anything else?
No, I just feel that the fair market value was paid for it.
Do you know how many other bidders you had bidding against you?
There was 14 there at the time and there was 3 others bidding on it.
Okay.
There were probably 10 properties that same morning, which were going through with the trustee. Some didn't have any bids whatsoever. They just walked away, and others had low bids, and this one had 3 bids on it.
Its current condition now is it have a lot of debris on it. They never cleaned it up from the storm.
Nope, that was a fight with the condo people,
Or the condos, sorry, yeah.
and what happened, their whole
When was
roof,
that picture taken?
December
their whole roof,
December of 19?
That's it right there.
Okay.
underneath all that grass is all the roof material. And it was going to be another big long legal battle to get the condo association to clean up the land.
What is it, the roofing material that blew off during the storm?
Yeah, all the shingles are all lying under the grass. So basically what we have to do with that land is go in there with the dozer and scrape everything off and haul it off. It's unfortunate. It was a nice piece of land. It was really kept well.
And the condo association won't take care of it?
It's a very strange situation when you end up with somebody else's house on your property. Who's responsible for taking it away? And they said, hey, it's not our problem. I said, okay, well, I'm stuck with it then. They said, yeah, go deal with the homeowner association. Spoke to the president. He said, hey, act of God, there's a hurricane. It's all on your property. Sorry.
What were you going to do with the property?
It would be developed in time to have 10 condos on it.
Okay, and you just bought it. You didn't buy it, somebody, you're representing it for a
Yes,
grant.
correct. I used to be the owner, and they said, hey, you know more about this land than we do. Please come and tell us why it is in the condition it's in.
Got it. So, well, his time was still going on, but he's done. So now the district has 2 minutes to cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal. So you got 4 minutes.
There we go.
Okay, so now, sir, you have 2 minutes for rebuttal. Nothing. Okay, so so district, you have 1 minute of closing.
Yeah, all I have to say is we presented evidence just showing market activity. It's not the district's opinion, and it's not my opinion that a foreclosure sale is a market sale. It's not a market sale ever anywhere. We can't consider foreclosure sales to be market sales. We never have. It's not abnormal. The situation is not abnormal.
Foreclosure price, then you're saying isn't a true value of the
No.
property.
Because the bank is trying to get out of underneath a problem. They're under duress. They're not trying to maximize the value of their land. And on top of that, there's abnormal liability on the buyer because the property is sold as is, where it's like you take what you get. I mean, the reason they didn't clean it up is because they weren't trying to maximize their gain. I mean, it's worth it to go out and clean up your property, it'll sell for more, you know? But, you know, it's just, it's not a market sale, it's not an arm's length transaction, is what it's called.
Okay, and then, sir, you've got 1 minute to close.
Well, I totally disagree, because if the price, if it had been sold at auction for $345, you'd be using that number. You'd say there's a fair market value. Because you'd have a sale of $345, you'd write to me and ask me, what did it sell at auction for? And I'd tell you $345, and you charge taxes at $345. That's what you would do. So this happens continuously.
Just so you know, this is your closing, you're supposed to be addressing them. But in response to that, no, we wouldn't. We would never include, we throw out foreclosure sales constantly, high, low. Foreclosure sales are not market sales. They just mess up our data.
So if I put it on the MLS and it's at $345, it doesn't sell, that's not marketing. It didn't sell on market. If I put it on for 220, if I put it on for 200, would it have sold? That's hindsight.
And you're making my point.
I'm not making a point at all.
Okay, so now what we have is 5 minutes that the appraisal review board, that we get to deliberate and figure out what we think the appropriate value is for that property.
Did you said you had it on the market, you had it listed on MLS?
Yep.
How low did you go before you took it off?
275.
275? Well, it's clear that it's been trashed.
Only the person bought it trashed.
What?
The person bought it trashed, that's why they bought it for $194,000.
Yeah, it's been trashed. So, I mean, I'm willing to go 10% for trashed.
And I
And I
mean,
don't disagree with the price per square foot that Eamon's shown, except that it's got the roof from the condos under the grass. That's a lot to clean.
okay, so Robert, let's do that. Let's play math games. Okay, so
So that's like 249 or 250.
Yeah, 249, 930.
Yeah, which I'm willing to round off to
Yeah,
250.
I think that's reasonable.
249 what?
250 even.
Just 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
Like, we'll quibble over nickels and dimes.
that would, you could certainly sell it for that if you marked it down to that. I think the buyer made a screaming, made a pretty good deal buying it. Yeah, I think 250 would be a reasonable price.
I do too. I mean, I don't think it would be fair to go down lower because, I mean, in that area.
Yeah.
And those condos now are beautiful and they're kept up very well, you know, so anyway, all right, so on
I'm okay with it.
account, you're good with it, Kathy? Yep. Okay. On account 17207, I make a motion that I believe includes the possibility of an incorrect appraised market value, that we lower the 2020 value on this property to $250,000.
Second.
In favor? Aye.
Aye. Very much.
Thank you.
Escort out.
All right, thank you.
And if you would, please fill out a survey. I think it comes with your papers in the mail later. It
You
tells
have
you where to
some out there,
go. But
Okay,
we
Now, you
appreciate
have
it.
some out there, don't you?
I do.
I'll just take them with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll work.
I'll fill it out here, then I have to do it tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you for
Thank you.
your
Thank you very much.
participation.
Okay.
Got 3
Well, that's something
outstanding.
interesting we didn't know, I didn't know that before, that foreclosure sales don't get included in your.
Now, for something to be considered a market sale, it has to be, it is the price in cash or cash equivalent that a willing buyer would get from a willing seller if it was exposed to the open market for a reasonable amount of time for the buyer to find the seller, and both parties were not under
Duress.
what do they call it?
Outstanding conditions.
Yeah, there's a word for it, and I'm totally blanking, but they both know all the legally permissible and economically viable uses of the property and are both seeking to maximize their gains. Those are the requirements. You have to check all those boxes for it to be a market sale. So
I didn't know that.
if it's your dad selling it to your brother, it's not a
On the
market sale.
130?
It's not
Right.
ongoing.
We
They're
had
not,
it
your
in
dad's not
person,
trying to get as much as he
but
can out of your
he was
brother.
upset with having.
Even
to wait.
if his number was close to it, it still wouldn't be
Even if the
because,
number was really good,
Right.
there,
I
it
have
still
it
wouldn't be
I'll say
considered.
it
you just have to
beforehand,
delete it.
y'all can
It's
formally
even a mistake,
approve
you
it
just
for
throw it
like
out,
10 days
just go look.
Okay.
This isn't,
I didn't think you'd
it's a
have a
sale from
problem.
a guy
And we
to
have
his
3
shell
phones.
company, that's not a market
Yes,
sale.
so
If it
If it
including
wasn't
him,
listed,
yeah.
it was
Including him.
Yeah, he'll
just
be
an
the last
unlisted
one.
sale,
Okay.
like a guy tells his neighbor he'll sell him land, that's not a market sale, because there's no competition.
That again is what?
If a guy sells his land to his neighbor and say, hey, I got this lot over here on the other end of the county, you wanna buy it? That's not a market sale, because it's not listed on the open market.
Oh, because in one person, 2 people that made an agreement.
Yeah, there's no competition creating better prices.
1165, it's a telephone.
Oh, they didn't take down the number.
oh
So,
goodness.
probably more
Is
than
it
one.
telephone or Zoom?
It's a telephone.
Well, it's,
Let me go get the other number. so that you
but
can-
it's through Zoom, though, right? I think that
Yeah.
all of our phone hearings are being through, they're being carried through the Zoom phone number.
Okay, good. I was like,
Because our
Damon, don't do
phone-
that to her.
Yeah, our phone-
She's she needed to catch up on some paperwork.
Okay, where is this one? 1165.
1165, page 6, top.
Oh, another feeling, find out.
Oh,
It's always tricky whenever there's things that sound like they
So
have
it
a
should be the one
sort
that's
of a common
not
sense meaning,
this number.
but in,
This is one.
because of the
Let me get this up real quick so I
world,
can put the
there's
record.
this like
Yeah.
exact definition. So like people will say, I saw a video and that was murder.
And the
Like,
next
no,
one, this
that's
is evidence.
it's not actually murder, not
So you
in
can get a.
Nebraska.
Okay.
You know, in Nebraska, here's the
Okay.
criteria for
The
murder.
next one
This
is-
is called like
Yeah, I'll
aggravated
read this.
manslaughter. It
I
has a
got
southern name. And so things like market value has like a specific definition.
Is he in?
Not yet. Jackie's finishing something up and then she's gonna do
Market
it.
sale is a specific
Okay.
definition.
Next hearing, this is evidence of stuff, so.
Okay, are y'all ready? Who's gonna
So
talk
we
to her?
won't have it in our thing. She'll have to show it on the wall.
This is additional. There is some in your tablet also.
Okay, she's fixing to come on. Is somebody gonna talk to her?
I will.
Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Go.
Hello?
Yes.
Ellen.
Okay, I thought y'all forgot me.
No, we
Is that all I need?
don't forget anybody. Yeah.
Okay. The music was hypnotic.
We got some administrivia to go through on this before we get to the heart of the matter, so just follow along with us, okay?
Okay, I will. Just tell me what you want me to do.
I'll ask you some questions along the way.
Okay.
We're opening a hearing on case ID 2020-1165, account 25319.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's me. Mm-hmm.
We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. At the table is Robert Dayton, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, and myself, Charlie Powers. Also is Eamon. Eamon's the representative of the appraisal district. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. Comptroller
Okay.
provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today. That may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Do we have all of your evidence?
Yes, I sent you documents. The one that I typed up at the top, it says Aransas County District Appraisal District Subject Property.
Okay.
Did you get that one? It's typed, and it says on there that the subject is 208 NASA, and I'm upstairs. I'm 1,050 square feet.
We have it.
Yep.
And I,
That's good.
okay.
There.
And then you've got
Good.
an email from Gail Conley, which is the manager at Key Allegra Condominiums. I'm sure you know her.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
That's an important document
Okay.
that says that
Helen,
Helen.
we'll be back to you.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay.
The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Donner, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
Okay.
All witnesses must be under oath. I am assuming, Helen, that you are under oath for this hearing as you signed the affidavit. Do you understand that?
That's correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You hold a license as an appraiser in the state of Texas?
Who, me? What? What was the question?
You hold a license as an appraiser in the state of Texas?
No, I don't.
Okay. The governor made me ask that now.
Okay. I am a licensed Texas realtor in Houston. If that makes any difference. That doesn't make any difference in Aransas County, though.
Hold on.
I, Ammonberg, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Helen, do you have in front of you, or can you put your hands on the procedures document? It's a one-page chart with times on it. It was page 5 of the package that the district sent you.
What does it say? One page?
Got 4 columns and it says
Hearing procedure.
hearing
times.
procedures.
Oh, that one. Yes, I saw that one. It was how many minutes I'm allotted?
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to follow.
Okay.
And you get to choose who goes first. Do you want to go first, or do you want the district to go first?
I guess I might as well, so then you can rebuttal everything I say. All right, so you want me to start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, the important document, first of all, it came from Gail Conley, which is the manager at Key Allegra. If you pull that one out, you can see that it says that this unit is so far behind, it needs to be an absolute priority. And that was back in the middle of August of 2019 when she wrote that to the builder or the roadrunner construction company. So that document tells you that I wasn't even in the condo in August. I was able to bring in my furniture and move in around November. of 2019. So the appraisal district says that my condo was $135,430. It jumped from that to what you sent me to $277,980. And I was only in there for 2 months, November and December. It jumped $142,550 for 2 months. Now the comparables that I brought up to you, which is on that one page, those are A, B, C, and D. Those are 1,050 square feet. Those are comparables that I found. 707 Lauderdale, which is an upstairs, which is very similar to mine. It sold for $149,000, and we're allotted approximately $25,000 per unit to finish out. So if you were to bring those two figures together, you could say that value is $175 on that one. Unit 810 Sandollar, which is another upstairs, it sold for $150. So you add the allotted $25,000 to that, that gives you $175,000 there. That's the worth. That's the value of it. If somebody bought it for that last year and was given the $25,000, the value would be $175. 702 Lauderdale sold in January of 2019 and that's an upstairs also. Mine is upstairs. Sold for $143. So you add the $25,000 allowance for that, that's $168,000. Then you add then number D, which is 801 Sandollar, sold March of 2019 for $175, and in the MLS he said that if it was furnished he would sell it complete for $189,900. That was in March of 2019, and that's a downstairs unit, which seems to have seems to have more value than upstairs. So then on top of all this, our condos have an assessment which had to be paid today. Let's see, I think today was the deadline of $14,213. That's how much we were assessed. But if we paid it a little early, all we had to pay was $12,792. So that brings value down, that everybody's talking about how much value our condos have increased. The assessments are taking it away. Now, from what I see, the Aransas County Central Appraisal District of comparables, you're using 103. That is a townhouse. That's not a comparable. That has 1,400 square feet, and it's also a townhouse. That's not a comparable. 504 Lauderdale, which is downstairs, and it has the same square footage I have. It sold for $300, but it was a lot more design than I have. The ceramic flooring and high ceilings and redone kitchen. The walls were changed. Okay, and then 508 is also, am I out?
Okay, wait, give her 2 more minutes.
All right, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, 508, which you're also using, is it sold for $274. But anyway, that's 1,050 square feet. That was highly decorated also, and it had an attic storage, and the ceramic flooring, high ceilings. So anyway, my comparables I think are better than yours, and I'll pay my taxes. I believe in taking care of all of that, but I want it to be fair and to use good comparables, not these townhouses and downstairs and all that. So I think the value is closer in market value, not 277,980, because I only was in there for 2 months. I think you need to make some kind of adjustment, and I would appreciate that. And I thank you for your time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now the district has 5 minutes to do their presentation.
Okay.
Okay, the subject is 25317. It is condo in Key Allegro condominiums, unit 208. And it was 100% complete on January 1st. The notice value is $277,980. You scroll down a little bit. These are our sales. Our sales are.
Wait, 208 what?
I'm sorry?
Oh, you're talking about me as January of this year.
Yeah, I'm presenting my evidence to the appraisal review board right now.
Okay.
Just a second. So the comps that were used were all in the same complex. If you just look at them, instead of their apartment numbers, they're 1050 square feet, 1050 square feet, and then one 778 square feet with an upstairs, so it ends up being bigger. The two that were same size as the subject sold for 274, 350, basically 275, and 310, and that was in April of this year and in November of last year.
I'm sorry, I can't understand the addresses that you're telling me. I'm trying to write them down. Can you speak into the microphone a little closer?
Do you have the information from the district,
Yeah.
the papers?
It's
I did. There was a lot of information that you sent to me, yes.
Yeah, it's in there. It's the sheet that says comp sales grid at the top of it.
Just give me the addresses, what you're saying.
Well, hang on just a second. Hang on. Let me finish up. So the last one is 103 Nassau. Is like you were saying, it's a little bit bigger. It's been adjusted for that. And it was
That's a
purchased
townhouse.
adjusted to be like a subject. It's 299. It indicates 299. Median indicated value is 288,000, and it was noticed at 277. And then the equity grid shows 3 other condos that are exactly like the subject size and situation. So they're all 277,980. And then there is a sales ratio report for 92% for condos in Aransas County. So this is just, we have some sales activity here in this complex showing, one that sold for 275, one sold for 310, and they're basically and we're below both of those. If I can, Jackie, can I see 25362? Count 25362.
Which one? 5 or what?
I
5.
actually, give me a minute. I'm looking up a different account real quick.
Golly.
Go to deeds and sales. And then go to the scroll down a little bit. 50. I'm just making sure that I didn't know if this was the same one.
What about 801 Sand-Dollar?
Oh, you have to wait your turn.
Hold on, it's his
This is
turn
his-
to present.
It's his,
Oh, I'm sorry.
This one wasn't in the grid, but
Because,
because this one's only 50% complete.
Ah,
That's what it is.
okay.
This one's not ready to be moved into.
And what was the address on that one, Amy?
I don't know. It was in her thing. It was one of the MLS sheets that she included. It was the really low one.
Okay,
It's not done.
okay,
It was sold unfinished.
okay.
I was trying to figure out why what's
Why
that
it was
number?
so low.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
So Helen, did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
It was, we looked
What
at,
address are you talking about?
it was from your
801
evidence.
Sandollar.
It was what?
801 Sandollar.
801 Sand Dollar.
Uh-huh.
And the reason it's so low is because it's only halfway finished on January 1st of this year.
Yeah, it actually says in the listing, enter at your own risk, lots of work going on now.
It says it's sold March 27, 2019.
It didn't sell in the same condition that your condo was in on January 1st of this year. It sold in like a construction state. It was a half done. That's why that number's so low.
Okay.
And just so you know, the date of appraisal is January 1st. So however the property sits on January 1st, that's how it's valued. So it doesn't matter if the house was finished a week before January.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 100% on January 1st, it's 100%. If it's finished,
Right.
January 1st, it'll be partially incomplete for the year. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to draw the line somewhere. That's all it is.
Cindy, get us back.
Okay, so now you have 2 minutes to cross-examine and do rebuttal.
Okay, 508 Lauderdale sold, where's the sale date? Sold May of 2020 for $274,350, and that was also an upstairs. Of course, you can't use the 103. I don't think you're used. You said you're making adjustments on 103. Is that correct? That's
Yeah.
the one that is a townhouse. You're doing that one. Okay, so. So you're not using anything that sold in 2019 then, right?
Yeah, one of our comps is from 2019. I think one or two of them were from 2019. We check. One's from 2019 in November, and the other was January of 2020. The other one's April of 2020.
Well, if you use the one in 2019 and then mine wasn't done until 2020, I guess you make adjustments for that too. Do you make adjustments for the assessment that we've been?
No, condo assessments are a normal part of owning a condo. I mean, it's unfortunate when it happens, but it's not part of the current value of the property. Those kind of spring whenever they do, it won't be the last one.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all the rebuttal that I could come up with as far as what you're looking for. Anything that's sold in 2020, because I've come across things that sold in 2019 because I can't find a lot that sold already in 2020 except for those few that you've come up with, and then you made adjustments for those,
Right.
because you couldn't find a whole lot that sold this year using like a townhouse, which you make adjustments for that one.
Okay, so now, Helen, where we're at is the district gets 2 minutes for their rebuttal. No, okay, no rebuttal. All right, so now, Helen, you get 1 minute for your closing.
My closing, okay. My closing is that I think 277 is still too high. And everything that I have been exposed to there, that one year we were told that it was 55% complete, and that's definitely wrong. Those condos were not 55% complete. If you drive around there at nighttime and you see the lights on, you will not see half of that completed. I mean, you can tell by the lights. And there's 100 units there, as you know. And it seems to me that I've heard that there may be 30 that that are in, and that's definitely not 55%. So there's a whole lot that still needs to be done over there, and I don't see the value of being taxed $5,000 that much, because my taxes in last year were close to $3,000, and it was unlivable. It was unlivable, and I still had to pay $3,000.
Time's up, Ellen.
Okay, time's up.
So now Rick gets 1 minute to close.
I don't have any closing.
Okay, so now the appraisal review board gets 5 minutes for us to discuss amongst ourselves and see questions to come up with our answer, okay?
Okay.
Just reviewed another condo in the same complex this morning, and that's the value. Single.
Okay.
Upstairs.
I don't see a compelling reason to change.
And we have, there's another one that will this.
Right, and I think I think what maybe would be, I just think she needs to understand that the January 1st date, and last year she was only assessed at half because her thing wasn't complete on January 1st of 2019. But then she discussed that she moved in October, November, so clearly January 1st of 2020, she was able to live in it. So based upon what we heard, unless anybody has a different,
I have only one comment,
okay,
and that is if you look at the comps, the interesting one is 508 Lauderdale, which is same size, has zero adjustment.
It's what? 508 is what?
508 Lauderdale.
Uh-huh.
And Helen, you need to not speak for a while. This is our deliberation time, okay?
Okay.
508 Lauderdale has no adjustment.
Right.
And came in at 274.
and actually I'd be good with that.
Well, wait a minute. We discussed this morning, and one of the things that has not been discussed yet is the location of that building and the view versus this being at the end of the canal, in a building that's nowhere near as nice in location as the Nassau building is.
Okay, so
We had
her
this conversation
location,
this
we need
morning.
to see that on the screen. Because that does make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
That is the, oh, okay. See, and that's a good
Where's
location.
508 Lauderdale?
No, that's 208. Is that 208 Nassau?
No, Lauderdale's way down.
25337. 25337.
253. Those that we discussed those this morning, both of those units up and down, sold this last year. And we still kept the price at 277. If you look back on it, that's already there.
Okay.
That's what we did with that.
Yeah, that is, then I think we need
I'll
to,
give you a head.
we need to treat them all equitably.
All right.
All right, so on account number 25319, based upon what we heard from the appraisal district and also from the property owner, And I believe taking into consideration the possibility of an incorrect appraised market value and the possibility of the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal, we should leave the value for 2020 at $277,980.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Helen, thank you for participating.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, bye.
Bye-bye.
No, I don't think on the.
No, I
CD.
don't.
No, I mean, her call.
Oh,
You can go to,
This is the
Can,
same one.
is she,
this is the evidence.
Okay.
Next.
okay.
But they have evidence
No,
here.
you're right. We didn't argue. I was like, okay.
I'm not done yet. It's still not. It's
No,
still
I'm just
working.
saying, it's interesting if they all came in that building, same building. But I just saw them.
It just takes forever for it to start.
I mean,
I don't
consider
have
that
any more
when
130.
the appraisers
got
are
one more
going through their
after this.
workload, we have to sort our work somehow, and it's possible that we end up, somebody just spends a day doing condos.
We've
So you
got a
just get
couple of 3
scheduled
o'clocks
together.
already.
Okay.
We have what?
Couple of 3 o'clocks already waiting.
In person?
One in person, one Zoom.
But we
Don't we
haven't,
just have one?
no, we have two, this one and another one.
Okay, so we'll go quickly.
You need to.
Okay, gosh, you'll have to back me up, don't do it. We all have to talk louder.
Do you want to let her
It's
in
like,
then?
oh.
Yeah.
God.
She's here.
Yeah.
I don't even know who it is or what number.
Okay, this is Davis.
Or just
Okay,
this one
so
right there.
it's page 6, the second one.
You ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Oh, gosh.
Hello,
Hello.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Okay,
Mr. and Mrs. Davis.
okay. Let me just ask a question. Who signed the affidavit?
I did, James Davis.
Okay. Then the rules are that you're the only one who can speak. She can whisper in your ear, but you're the only one who can speak,
Okay.
okay? We got some administrative to go through. Follow along with me. I'll ask a few questions along the way.
All right.
Hearing on 20,
I'm sorry, what is your name, sir? I haven't heard any names.
I was gonna get to that, but I'm Charlie Powers.
Okay, last name was what? I'm sorry?
Powers, Powers.
Howard. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll name the other people here in just a minute.
Okay.
Hearing on case ID -1714, account 25316. This hearing is being recorded. We're the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. In addition to myself, at the table is Kathy Hoffman, Cindy Duck, and Robert Dake. We have a representative from the appraisal district is Eamon. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The comptroller's office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today. It may be accessed at the appraisal district office online or online at surveymonkey.com/survey ARB. Survey is voluntary. We do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. We have all your evidence, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 31.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Jane, I'm assuming that since you signed the affidavit, that you are under oath for the duration of this hearing.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes, I'm having a hard time understanding you because, I mean, I don't know if you're not by the mic or what, but I'm not catching everything.
Okay, I'll try to be a little more articulate.
Well, we're on a cell phone, so anyway, go ahead.
Do you hold a license or certificate from the Texas Appraiser Licensing and Certification Board?
No,
Okay. Do you have the procedures times document? It's a one page that was page 5 in your package that the district sent you.
are you talking about the breakdown of the amount of time spent for each item?
Yes.
Yes, I have it in front of me.
Great. Okay. You get to choose whether you go first or the district goes first.
I'll let the district go first.
Okay. And
Did I not say it out loud?
Maybe you did.
No, you did not.
Oh, I, Aaron Burke, do solemnly swear affirm the testimony you shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
We have no idea what was just said.
I was just swearing in. I promise, I'm telling the truth. Best of my ability.
Okay. And you are?
I'm Eamon Burke. I'm one of the appraisers here. I'm representing the district. I'm gonna be.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Okay, so the subject is 25316. I'll just scroll down a little bit. Last year it was 55% complete. Condo, and it's in Key Allegro condos. For real?
Yes.
Okay, sorry,
Another one,
I'm
same building.
having deja vu. here.
Same building.
Okay, so it was noticed at 277.90. It is 1,050 square feet. All right, scroll down. So the comps that we have are 508 Lauderdale, 504 Lauderdale, and what's the last one? And I guess it's going to be on Nassau. Yep. And
508 is upstairs, 504 is downstairs.
is the third comp. The median indicated value for the subject is 288,549, and our equity is going to show other condos that are exactly like the subject, and they're exactly the same value, 277,980. And then following that's going to be a sales ratio report for condos in our county, showing that we're at like 96% for condos. And let's see, was your unit done this year? Like, is it still under construction or is it done?
It is not done.
Okay. Let's go back up to the property card, make sure we haven't put 100%. Yeah, we have this January 1st, 100%. What about it is left undone?
I'm sorry, what?
What is left to be done? How unfinished is it?
On January 1st.
Yeah, on January 1st, right.
You want to know how much is left undone as of January the 1st?
Yeah, I want to know I'm trying to get an idea of the state of this particular condo on January 1st, as far as how far along it is in the rebuild.
That's going to be a total guess because we don't live there. It was probably 75% done January 1st.
Oh, okay. I mean, could you tell me about it? Do they have drywall? Did you have appliances put in yet? Is there, were you painted? Was there doors?
Well, I'm gonna have to consult with my wife because she's the one that did most of the work with the reconstruction people.
No problem. Take your time.
Amen.
We had drywall, right?
Well, he's
We
taking,
didn't have palms, did we?
technically he's taking mine.
No. Okay, we did have drywall.
Okay.
We did not have appliances. Painting was probably 60%, 70% done. What else?
The electrical. It was all rough.
I think the electrical was complete.
I see.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It's about 75%.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with you on that one. All right, and that's it for my presentation. And then, yeah, now I guess he has cross-examined time.
Well, are you gonna, did you want to 75% or not?
Sure.
We can look up each other. I don't know what the hell they're signing.
Well, I don't know if that's amenable to him. I don't know what that
I know,
value
so-
ends up
You
being.
need to know what the number is.
Yeah.
James, what we're doing is using the program to determine what the value would be with 75% complete.
Do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay, well, I guess I made the assumption that you wanted to, when I filled out the information, well, you're going back to January 1.
Yeah.
I filled out the evidence based on when I sent it in, so I don't know if that makes a difference, because obviously it's more complete than it was January 1, but I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but maybe I did it incorrectly.
It does. That's definitely pertinent. So because your property's value is changing, this is not the subject.
That isn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is his evidence he was presenting. That indicates a value of 225,000, basically.
225?
225.
So,
James?
Sir,
I'm sorry? Yes?
so the 225,000 value, is that a number that you think that's fair?
Yes, ma'am. That's a little bit under what I'd said it was worth, 3 months ago. So if it's of January 1st, I think that's fair.
Okay,
All right, so
in which case
therefore,
we'll do it. We'll book it.
all right, so on account number 25316, based upon what we heard from the appraisal district and from the property owners, taking into consideration the possibility of incorrect appraised market value and the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal, I make a motion that we lower the value, the 2020 value, to
25.
225,000 even.
All in favor?
Aye. There you go,
Look,
sir.
at 225.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
And if you would, please take a survey on your experience with the appraisal review board, please.
Okay. How do I do that? I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll read you the
Just tell
online
me.
survey. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Survey Monkey.
Say what? Monkey. Oh, okay.
.com
Okay.
/R
Say that again.
/R the letter R
Sorry. Okay.
/survey ARB.
R is in rat,
ARB.
B. Okay.
You can't talk.
Okay?
Let me read it back to you. Survey Monkey, spelled just as both are spelled, .com /R as in Ralph /survey Survey ARB.
Correct.
Yay. Thank you. Great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
2 minutes.
Look,
Okay.
Eamon's giving away time, and I'm like,
Yeah, there's somebody waiting.
Take your time, yeah.
I know, and I'm like,
It's my
no,
It's
don't
my
listen
time.
to what
I
he
can see
says.
it all my.
I was like, don't listen to what he just said, okay? 'Cause
And we have another two. Not yet. We're waiting for him to.
Okay, Val.
Throw the phone.
Eamon was like telling people, just take all the time in the world, okay? Because we're here to make sure that you have asked every single question you could.
She doesn't like my low pressure.
We got a full back. This is a phone in. Well, in fact, I have to ask y'all about that because he was in the parking lot. And he didn't realize how long it would be. And, so we talked about it and he signed his affidavit while he was here. And I said I would check with y'all because it's 10 days unless if the ARB has to approve him calling me by phone if he doesn't let us know 10 days in advance. That's in the tax code.
I think
So
because
it's
it's
kind
the
of a-
COVID, I think because we're in the COVID situation, this certainly would be an
Yes.
okay exception, yeah.
And there's not any kind of hardship on us to do it this
Right.
way. We're set up. He's in there.
Is he a 1:30 or a 3?
He's 130.
Okay, so I make a motion that we hear, what, is it the 745 Katrosh?
Covington Living Trust?
2020-8.
Like, is it online?
Oh, 820, okay.
On the 5th page, the second one.
The 5th one?
Mhm.
1:30.
It's the middle one. So I make a motion that we go ahead and hear his thing via telephone or Zoom.
Let's do it.
Y'all ready?
Somebody make a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Charlie.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Right, he's on.
What is it? 6?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, this is Charlie Powers at the Appraisal Review Board. Hold on just a second. I gotta get the right sheet of paper out.
Okay.
Where did it go?
What page? 5?
Page 5, the second, or the middle,
Alright.
whatever.
There it is. Thank you. Are you David Covington?
There it is. That's a good.
Yes, I am.
Ah, I found the right page.
Okay.
Okay, David, we're gonna have to go through a little bit of administrivia here, so just bear with us. I'll ask a couple of questions along the way.
Okay.
We're opening a hearing on case ID number 2020-820, account number 25312. This hearing is being recorded. With the Appraisal Review Board, they will be hearing your protest today. In addition to myself, there's Kathy Hoffman, Cindy Duck, and Robert Dayton at the table. Also, Eamon, who's representing the Appraisal District. We do not work for the Appraisal District. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the Appraisal District Office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. The survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate you taking it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Do we have all your evidence?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 4166F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of section 41.66.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. So I'm assuming that you are under oath as you sign the affidavit. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you.
I, Aaron Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board of the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
David, do you hold a appraiser's license in the state of Texas?
No.
Okay. Do you have it on hand, the hearing procedure times page? It was page 5 in the document that was sent to the district.
I've got it somewhere. I did receive it.
Well, that's all right. We'll walk you through it. You know what it looks like. It's
I do.
presentation, rebuttal, question and answer, that sort of thing. We'll walk you through
Yes.
it.
Okay.
I do have a question though. Do you want to go first or do you want the district to go first?
I'd like the district to go first.
Okay. David?
Right. Subject property is 25312, and in 2019 it was 55% complete. So I'll scroll down. This is a condo in Key Allegro condo, unit 201. It was noticed at 288.50, 288,000.
I'm sorry. Hello. He's breaking up really bad.
Oh, sorry, there's a little bit of background noise. It'll clear up in just a second. It was noticed at 288,050 for 2020. Scroll down. So
And you got to speak from over here.
okay.
That
Good. So the comps that we used are 504 Lauderdale and 508 Lauderdale and 103 Nassau. The indicated median value for the subject is 300,000. A little bit confused. Oh.
Well, it's an end unit.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's different class code. That's what it is.
Different class.
Yeah, it's an end unit. That's what you're saying.
Ah.
It's probably scroll up one. Yeah. Downstairs, upstairs. Okay. Yeah, I'm tracking. So this one is a downstairs unit. That's why it's more. So it's 300,000 as opposed to the indicated 277 or whatever it was.
Right.
288 on the other one.
On comp number 2.
Yeah. The equity is just going to show other downstairs units that are exactly the same as the subject. They're 288,050. And then following that is the sales ratio report for condos in Aransas County. It shows that we are at 96% or thereabouts on the sale of condos for the past year in Aransas County. That's all.
Okay, so sir,
Yes.
now you have 2 minutes to cross-examine and then 5 minutes to present. So I'm just going to put in for 7 minutes.
Okay. All right. So I guess my question first is, your comps that you used were 504, 508, and Lauderdale, and then 103 Nassau.
Yeah.
Is that correct? And you valued our condo at 96% complete?
I believe it was 100%. Let's see.
On January.
Yeah, it was 100% complete.
Okay, 100% complete. Last year,
at the valuation, did you classify us as 55% complete?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me maybe just fill in a little bit. There's a little bit of a danger to using straight market sales when if perchance you haven't seen the contract. So when you use these comps, 504, 508, and 103, do you see the sales contract or you just see the reported final sales price?
It depends. It's not, we don't have like a reliable source for sales information anymore, so we take it however we can get it. Sometimes we see the sales contract, sometimes not. Obviously more better.
Okay. Are you aware that 504 was fully furnished? In fact, furnished $30,000 or better furnished. Are you aware that 103 was at least that much furnished? And it sold, both those sold furnished. 508 sold furnished. All of these comps that you're using, can be adjusted, but you need to. I don't think you're meaning to tax on private property, are you? On personal property? Can you help me?
No, that's a good point. As far as how much the adjustment would be for furnishings, 30 would be really high. But yeah,
Actually not. Once you count appliances, refrigerator, stoves, everything between the furnished and completely furnished. And I'll tell you, 504 particularly, she had Samsung things hanging on the wall. I don't know if you've priced a frame. High-end furnishings on her condo. 103, high-end artwork in there, and so we had a lot of personal private property that contributed to that sales price, which is fine. But I don't think it's fair that be computed when you're counting my taxable value. And I hope that's making some sense. I don't know.
Were they in?
Yeah. Do you have? You have any?
Excuse me. I have one other thing before I run out of time. Last year you had me at 74,000 on improvements and 68,000, something like that, on the land, and you said I was 55% complete. And this year you've got me at almost 3 times the amount of improvements. When I only went up 100% in completion. So my land value had not changed over 17, 18, right? So my land value stayed the same. What changed was my improvements, yet you overvalued. If I was priced at 55% last year, then I should have only been, and I'm sorry, I'm in my car trying to look at all my notes, somewhere in the 220 price range when I went to 100%. So I'm a little confused on your methodology and your math on pricing those percentages.
So when the storm happened, all the condos were damaged, right? And
absolutely,
we had to put a percentage representing a diminished value for those buildings. The choice was to either use the diminished value that we were speculating it would be when it was done, or whatever it was before. And we went conservatively with a percentage of whatever it was before, not what it will be when it's done. Obviously, if you do that much work to a building, it's going to end up being worth more than it started. Even though it wasn't, a choice, it wasn't optional. It is all new stuff. It's new walls and new electrical, and you end up coming out the other end with a little bit more value than you had before. In some cases, a lot more.
Certainly, I agree. So my 2 questions are the comps. I think you included personal property. I know you did, and on the percentage increase of if I was taxed at 55% of completion last year, it doesn't. I mean, it's out of whack to say that what happened was you doubled the overall, you doubled my land value, along with my improvement value. If you look on 18 tax appraisal and then this year. So that's all I had to offer.
Yeah, and if it was 100% the whole time, I mean, we make market adjustment changes all the time, just to track with how much things are worth. Do you have anything quantifying any of that personal property stuff you're talking about on those other sales? Something that I can,
I would not have that, just that I was in all of those condos, and I know that they were. I know I did not get in 508, but I know it was furnished. But I was in, and I'm quite familiar with 103 and with 504. So, and 103 is a 3-bedroom. It's a bigger condo. It's a 3-bedroom compared to my 2-bedroom.
right.
So I think that I don't think I'm wildly overvalued here, but certainly I think 288 was high. I thought it should have been in the 250 range for an unfinished, only real property type of appraisal.
Yeah, the thing with the furnishings and art is I'm not an art appraiser, so it's hard for me to look at these things and accurately say, well, this is furnishings as opposed to collectible art. I will tell you that in my experience, furnishing allowances, sellers' allowances are like $10,000 to $20,000, sometimes less. But on a house like this, on a condo like this, it's normally something on that order. The appliances and stuff, they do cost a lot, but if you buy a condo like this, you're going to expect it to have a dishwasher. So that's pretty normal. It's sort of a common denominator. But
I would expect that. But there's more. Washer and dryer, is close to $1,000. A fridge is $2,000, and you could just start racking it up. A Samsung frame that I know Charlotte had in 504, that's probably close to $2,000. Her other TV is probably another $2,000 or $3,000. The couches, the dining sets. I mean, we just moved back in last year and furnished ours. I assure you, it's $20,000 to $30,000 to furnish, as opposed to an unfurnished. There are some unfurnished ones, for sale, but they're not going to get anywhere near the prices that you're comparing me to.
Yeah. Did you have a question, Sean?
No, I just wanted to get us back on track.
Oh no, his point.
I'm sorry. Did I overgo on my time? I'm sorry.
No, his point was that the comps were furnished sales.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, how much of it is attributable to the furnishings? And I think the only difference of opinion that we have is that there's a certain amount of it that I would expect there to be, even though, if you sold a condo like that without a fridge and a dishwasher or whatever, an empty washer and dryer hookup, to me, that would be more abnormal than a baseline. But then conversely, if it's got a TV in every room and, big mounted tarpon on the wall, like that's worth something extra.
But we'd have to see pictures, and actually it isn't necessarily.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I can't just guess. I have to quantify it somehow. And, it's a reasonable point, but as far as how much that is, I don't know.
Well, we'd have to see.
Decide that.
Should we adjourn and go to Wilcox? Figure it out.
Yeah, come on, let's go. We're bringing the Antiques Roadshow.
All right, so Eamon, you've got 2 minutes left.
No, I'll cede all the rest of my time.
Okay. All right, so sir, you've got 2 more minutes.
Well, I just repeating what I already said. Do I have an option of getting into those units and taking pictures of the furnishings that can fade?
The pictures, again, I'm not like an art and furnishings appraiser, so I would just be looking at them like you would.
No, I think you're overstating, you know, just get simple. Don't think artwork. Think just frame pictures. Go out, we had some Rockport Festival pictures framed, and just the framing was each $175. I mean, just common sense reality. Don't go into artwork, appraisals. A sofa couch is $1,500. I mean, I can get in and get pictures of those, but I
David?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so at this point, now we've got, the district has 1 minute to close, and then you'll have a minute to close.
I have nothing further.
Okay, so sir, you have 1 minute to close.
Okay. My closing would be, I think it would be more prudent on the appraiser with your district to see the sales contract and find out exactly what conveyed, rather than just take the final market value and count that. Because our property values are going to go through the roof if you continue to use just a list of comps and say that that's the market value, because next time they're gonna go furnished again, and we're gonna end up kind of geometrically adding on to the amount that the real property value is. I think we're getting a little skewed here. Well, I know we are. So that's it.
Okay, all right, so now the appraisal review board has 5 minutes that we get to discuss amongst ourselves, and then come up with our answer.
Eamon, there's only one thing that troubles me.
Okay.
I'm puzzled. In 2019, it was 55% complete. 78. Went to 223, 250. Now that's obviously not just taking the completion.
Right.
So you took the completion and then you looked at the market value
Yes,
and ramped it up from there.
correct.
Okay.
That's it.
I have one other question. So looking at other condominiums in that building, not saying, but we might have seen them today, in fact. If you look at the value of two others on top of page 6, there's about a $10,000 difference here. Can that be explained being a downstairs unit?
And on the end, and on the
And
end.
on the end.
Some of the downstairs units that we appraised that we agreed on a price of $277,700.
Yeah, and I
Those
just,
3 units that we did.
and I just don't know.
And even that's probably a little low, in all fairness.
Wait, go back
That's
to
what
that
we've already
picture of the
done.
building.
Oh,
No, I don't want it. Okay, because see, it's that end unit, and see your window even on the side, you'd be looking out over the water. Okay, me personally, I'd rather have that one that's
Oh,
3.
yeah, for sure.
So that's 10,000. Would I pay 10,000 more for that window? I would. But I don't know that that's.
Well, you're saying this is a valid amount.
She's saying it's valid enough to leave it at the 288 as opposed to what we've been doing, which is 277. I don't believe any of the other units we agreed on were end units.
They were not. They didn't face
Some
out
upstairs
over
and
the
some were
bow.
downstairs. But
Okay.
I don't know. That's just for me. That
Go
was
for it.
something to make a motion.
Yeah.
All right. So on account number 25312, taking into consideration the incorrect appraised market value. And
That's all.
yeah, that is it. Okay. That we leave on account 25312, I believe that it is appropriate to leave the value for 2020 at $288,050.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your participation, David.
Okay, thank you for hearing me.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, where do we go next?
Okay, this is an in-person.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out and get them.
How many do we have signed up for 3:00?
We have 3 more
After this,
after this one.
total 4.
We
Right.
can do this.
But one's a little iffy and I'll explain it later, but that's what I believe we have.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I'm having
All right, I'm gonna
problems
bring-
closing this
bring
doc.
her
I
in.
can't.
Oh,
Well, you
no,
can
we're
bring her
not ready.
in, but
Yeah, this is in person, so I'm just gonna go out and do her temperature and all that. kind of
oh,
stuff.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. And
Oh, which one is it?
1715.
Where is it?
1715.
Last one on the last page.
Oh.
Gave me a very good idea.
What?
That one gave me a very good idea.
You're gonna, you should stay overnight in the condos to see.
No.
Oh, we don't have a Wednesday. Oh, this is 3:00.
So are you gonna tell us your good idea or is it a secret?
I think that might explain where the other, there's a missing 4% for condos. You know, our condos we're at 96% of sale price, right? And notably, when I did the percent of list ratio for properties, the county average was about 93%, but condos was more like 97, 98%. They sold much closer to list than residential homes. And if we look at any kind of listed seller concession for that stuff, we can check and see if that's our 4%, because the 4% is condos typically sell furnished.
Right.
So maybe that could explain why we're at 4% low on our condos, because we're just valuing the real property. Factor that in, we would be able to adjust our sale price. If that works out.
A lot of times, though, when there are concessions like that, especially property, don't like to put it in the sales price. You would do a separate contract for it.
Yeah.
Affects the
Because then you
realtor
bump
commission,
up the
it affects
price.
the values that you see. So
Well, there was one of them mentioned, in one of those that had like numbers provided for it. I guess it was just like laid out there. Again, that number, that data is hard to find.
The contract listing the value of every single piece of property you're conveying the property.
Yeah.
Or you could do it as a separate transaction that doesn't go through the title company.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Shame, my friend. Please do not give away time this time.
Okay. Okay.
We have 4 people lined up and we have 2-hour limit.
Sounds good.
Raymond, don't make me come jumping over this desk. He's gotten 2 warnings, the 3rd time. It's like,
At least this isn't a condo in Nassau.
well, yeah.
We've been 4 or 5 in that one building.
And that's their right. I mean, so it's just interesting to me how some can be done and some can't.
Oh, yeah, it's way, way. Someone's over on San Laurel.
here.
Joni Austin?
Yes. How are you?
Fine.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay. We have some administrative to go through. Just follow along with us. I'll ask you a couple of questions along the way.
Yes, sir.
First of all, we're opening a case ID, a hearing on case ID 2020-1715. account 12620. This hearing is being recorded. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protests today. The board are the four people you see around this circle. Eamon represents the district. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience. The survey may be completed using the survey form and emailed to ptad.communications@cpatexas.gov or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate you taking it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with tax code section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. We have all your evidence?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
And I, Cindy Decker, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. You have a sheet in front of you?
This will be your, you'll state your name, and this is also written in large print here, but if you'll say your name and say this aloud, and then you can sign.
Okay, so, I, Joni Austin, do solemnly swear to or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Thank you, Jody.
And I, Eamon Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Jody, do you hold a appraiser's license in the state of Texas?
A what?
An appraiser's license?
No, sir.
Okay. On the table right in front of you there is the procedure that we're going to follow during the hearing. And all I need to know is who would you like to go first, you or the district?
The district.
Hey, wait, hold on one second, okay? Because on this one, oh, I'm sorry, Val. She marked, well, it didn't other, but it's incorrect appraisal or market value of land under special appraisal for ag use, open space, or other special. Would that be Hurricane Harvey? Would other special be?
No, it's not a special appraisal.
Okay,
No, a special use appraisal is a certain designation. Where they get a different.
so he may want to
Let's get some
clarify
clarity here.
with her. You know what I'm saying?
You checked a box that has an interesting definition. Do you realize that you did that?
I thought I had just done like for the taxes. And then it said something, I didn't honestly understand, like it was something about, I took it as like trees and all of that. And I pretty much lost everything during Harvey. I thought that.
Okay, so but what you're really protesting is the value of your property.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a Q1, Q2.
Okay. There you go. Oh, there you go.
Okay, hold on first. The property is 12620. It's a residential home on McCampbell and Stack and Aransas. And it was noticed at 101,610. It has 1128 square feet of living area. These are the comps. So our comps are from Rife Street and McCampbell. The first one sold in July of 2019 for 75,000. It was what's called a 2SS minus. It's smaller, but it's just right there in that neighborhood. The next one sold in April of 2020. It's a 5 FB, 1,400 square feet, so it's about, one's about as much below it, and the other one's about as much above it as you can get, kind of one end of the spectrum of each. Indicates a value for the subject at 112 and 114. The last comp is a sale on Moore Avenue. It sold for 260. Obviously, it's bigger and better than the subject, but when adjusted to be like the subject, renders a value of 154. So the indicated median value for the subject, 114,940. The equity grid shows other houses in the same neighborhood on Young, Guile, and Whitney. And it indicates a median equity value of 102,100, showing that we're just treating this house the same as we would any other house in this neighborhood. The sales ratio report is for Aransas pass area. We're at 95% weighted mean and 99% average. We're going to be lower on the higher valued property in Aransas pass. That's just how it's been. But that's pretty much it. It's just a single family home. Nothing unusual. That's all.
Okay. So ma'am, now you get 2 minutes to cross-examine and 5 minutes to present. So you get a total of 7 minutes if you need it.
Okay, well, I can say like on the picture right here of my house, that picture is over 3 years old because the carport, Harvey was taken and it was slammed into the house next door. And the concrete, which I did not take pictures of, but the carport was bolted into the concrete and there's pieces of concrete missing there. A lot of the trees right there in the back are no longer there. And then also you can see like on that view, if you go out toward the road a little bit, I can barely get out because of the huge sinkholes that has been there since Harvey. These right here, and you can see like where before Harvey, they kept patching it, but now they wouldn't touch it because it was a huge FEMA. The city was telling us, you got to fight with the Aransas County, then it was back and forth. And then right in front of this house is huge, like the whole road is blocked off and there's huge sinkholes there. This trailer right here, since Harvey, is no longer, it's all condemned. So I feel like the property value there should be lowered. I mean, I understand that they built that, like that one house that he showed at the very beginning, they did build that house. But overall, if we were to go through like our street, almost probably 7 to 10 homes are being condemned because of Harvey that nothing has been done. Yes, there was that one house. Actually, there was 2 houses that were built that were side by side, but it's pretty run down.
Jackie, can you check the date of appraisal, the last inspection date on this one for me?
You said you had a carport. You don't no longer have?
I no longer have the carport.
Just so you know, the last time one of us was out here in person was in October 14th of 2019. So we're not going off of that picture. So there's accounts that have pictures that are like 20 years old. So we do this aerial every year, but we drive the county every year also. So the last time somebody here laid eyes on this property was in October of 19. And there's no carport. It's just so you know, there's no carport on the account. It's
gone.
A house, a porch, and
a car.
no, it's just the main area, a small amount of porch, and then a little detached storage, which is a couple $100. But yeah, just so you know, we're not going off.
Okay, I got all the paperwork, all the pictures it had.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just based on that.
It's too hard to update it all the time. Our software doesn't like it.
Did you have anything else?
I was just gonna add, like, because of the, where the sinkholes are and the reason why.
Do you
that's-
want this up, your evidence?
Sure. That right there is just, some major cracks in the foundation of the property on that one. This one right here, since Harvey, like the, I think I have a couple pictures like this where the rebar is starting to come out of the foundation. I took a couple pictures of this. It's, since Harvey, a lot of the, bricks, I probably have 50 to 60 bricks that are cracked. I took that one, the one that you just, this one, I took from, where the only drainage in that area is at, which is crushed. So I was just taking it like that's where the, and we flood real bad. This, my house and the house next door flood real bad. That's just some more cracks. This right here, I didn't know, because I thought when it said that ag timber or whatever, I thought it was just showing tree wise. I thought that was adding, that was just, that one right there is a little bit lower. It was, where you could see where it's the foundation, it's been washed out underneath. And that's another one you can see, and right there where the foundation's being. This right here is the top of the, where the house goes, the brick, and you can see there's that spot, and I think I have another picture. Right here, and you can see the line. The, after Harvey, all the water ran through between the brick and the wall. And when the insurance people came out, they said they'd have to basically have to remove all that. And I have not had a chance, being a single mom, trying to get that done. This was just some more foundation pictures.
Wait, what's that?
That was, I guess it was,
No, the other one.
Said back up.
There.
That one?
that is where the cones are right here. This is where my house is at to drive out. That is the part that's barricaded off, and it's been like that since Harvey. That's that street, and this is my street, McCampbell. You cannot drive down it.
Where's your driveway?
My driveway is right here where this picture ends right there, but there's two more potholes on the end. And there might be, I have given some more pictures. Right here, these right here, that's my mailbox. And these are two potholes that I have to literally go over the curb to get out of. That's the crushed drainage that's all crushed underneath.
It shows it here. There's what she had pictures of.
And then right there where that little red thing is my,
driveway.
my driveway. And then there's the other potholes, or there are sinkholes.
We have my rebuttal time.
She's got 35 more seconds.
Oh, but yeah, that's just basically, it. I just feel, and last year I didn't understand this whole process, and I missed for the review date. And I just wish y'all, I would appreciate it if y'all could just take in consideration all the damages, and especially with the street, and Aransas is saying that they're gonna fix the street sometime within the next year, but I mean, we've already been going for 3 years now, so, and it's been an ongoing fight.
You actually have to drive around the barricade to get out?
Yes. A lot of times I have to go through my yard and go over the curb so I don't get my back tires when I.
Gotta drive around the cones, not around that huge barricade.
No, I go out this way. You can't go through this
You
right
can't
here.
go through there?
You have to hug the side of the road, right over there by my mailbox.
Okay, so you go that way to get out.
This one.
Yes, I usually, I'll pull out a little bit and I'll turn and I'll come through the yard right there. You can kind of see where it's worn in that little circle looking area.
Yeah.
And then I'll come and then I'll have to go right there, hug right next to my mailbox.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now, Eamon, you have 2 minutes for cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal.
So did you, I see that this was purchased in 18. Did you buy this from somebody you knew, or did you live here already, or?
It was my grandmother's,
Okay.
and she went in the nursing home, and she raised her kids, as a single mother. My grandfather had died, and she said, because, you you were a single mom, she was like, just, take over and that way you have a home for your kids.
That's fine. But, you know,
It was like, it's been in the property and all that has been in the family for like 70 years.
got it. Okay. Yeah. So just so you know, the value that we're expected to have on the property is 100% of its market value. And a lot of times in neighborhoods like this, we might be lagging behind when they're going through kinds of updating and gentrification and change. Aransas Pass is not doing a great job taking care of their roads, but the property values are going up in a place where it used to be really, really, really low. I mean, like $40,000 to $60,000 home kind of low. I wish that we were living in a time where you could buy a house like that for under $100,000, but you just can't. And I mean, I've been trying for years since Harvey. It's like they're just not out there. If you were going to sell it, you wouldn't sell it for less than $100,000. You'd be crazy. You'd be selling it for 20 to 25,000 more than that. Even exactly how it is. It's like, I know it's not great, but I would say it's like a starter home, right? It's got some issues. It's not in the best neighborhood. It's got some access issues. But that being said, it's still a place you can raise your kids. You got a yard. Definitely, it's definitely not bad. This is a good little place to live. I'm just trying to let you know where we're coming from. We just have to be at market value for these things. And I think you're never going to see this thing for sale for $95,000 ever again. But that's all.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you have any estimates on the amount it's going to cost or would cost you to have those repairs made to your house and to your brick and to your foundation?
After Harvey, when they came out, they had given me $12,000 for the. They has a brand new roof. We did do the roof because I had some major leakage. And it's honestly every single time I try to deal with the insurance, it's always just been a fight. It's an ongoing battle. They honestly, I feel like I just kind of get the runaround. So I've actually I've actually switched over to a different insurance company, but I couldn't tell you.
But you said someone gave you an estimate of $12,000?
No, I got 12,000 to after Harvey.
Yeah.
And we did like the roof and a few, and we had to rip out all the carpet.
Yeah.
And
I got you. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so now you've got 2 minutes for questions.
I really don't.
Rebuttal. She has 2 minutes for rebuttal.
I really don't have. I just wanted to come and express my concerns, and I really don't have much to
Okay, so now district has 1 minute to close.
I have no clue.
Okay, then you have 1 minute to close, Jim.
Like I said, I just wanted to come and express my concerns of the things that I found that was, that I felt like the value should be lower. But that I just appreciate y'all listening and taking the time to hear me out.
Okay, so now we get 5 minutes for us to discuss and figure out amongst ourselves what the value is for this.
My view is take 10% off for the cost to cure.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. You've got
I
some-
thought we should do something for the economic obsolescence of the neighborhood. At 10% would take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the county doing the roads, that's gonna take forever.
Good luck
I
with
mean,
that.
okay, so do what percentage?
10%.
What will that,
Would you get that number?
and Kathy, is that like in agreement with what you were thinking?
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
91,50.
91.
$91,450.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let me just double check.
The land and the home.
Yes,
Right,
bottom line.
91,450. We're in agreement, Robert? Yay. Okay, so on account number,
Don't mind them, they're losing their mind.
on account number 12620, taking into consideration, the market and equitable, the possibility of the incorrect market value and also incorrect equity value. I make a motion that we lower the total value for 2020 to $91,450.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, there you
Done.
go.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. And I have to say, that is the most awesome face mask right there. And Trump. I love it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too, and if you would
Take care.
fill out a survey about your experience with the appraisal review board, we sure would appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am, I will do that. Thank
Okay,
y'all.
Thank you.
I didn't realize you had your Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Actually, I need to get, where did you get that, Charlie? I need to send one of my.
Fran got it at the Trump store online.
Ah.
I'm on the Trump store.
Yeah.
Oh, I could pay for it and send it to my friend he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
No, and I'll send it straight to him, so like the package will have Trump on it.
Oh my
You want to lose him as a friend?
No, we do that, like we do this, we're always looking for things that,
I have a new one for tomorrow.
From the Trump store.
No, this is from another store.
Twin Bell.
You found another
Okay,
one.
so I'm gonna talk to them. So I had a couple of things come up for this 3 o'clock docket. One is kind of the same thing that just happened. It's so hot in the parking lot that somebody has gone home now and is going to call in. So I'm keeping them at their same place. The other thing is that we had somebody call in at 1:30 and up front they asked them to call back because it was for the 3 o'clock docket. And they said they would, but it's a Zoom hearing. So they didn't call back, but they did sign in on the Zoom.
Okay,
So I went ahead and signed them in.
Yes.
But I didn't know about it till later, so they're last on the hearings. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay,
What about the ones that left? What are we doing with them?
he's going to call in, and it's
It'll
not
become
this
a
one.
phone.
Right.
Audio only.
so do we have any in person?
No, no more in person.
Okay.
Okay,
This one is Zoom. It is case number 1325. Last name is
page 8. top of the
Bono.
page.
Page 8 on the top.
How do you do this? Just same thing?
Laura Bono.
Yeah. So inviting me to the call,
Thank you.
same thing.
You all ready?
Yes.
Right, they're there.
Laura? Oh, Laura?
Just says joining.
It might take a minute.
Laura?
Not on you, so.
Are you there? Hello?
She's there. Oh,
Hi, Laura?
her audio's connecting, it
It'll
says.
take a second.
Crack up.
Hello.
Hello? Laura? What's going on?
Just says audio connecting.
Just take it.
That looks like she's looking at the camera.
Laura?
She's not
doing
looking
over
at the
there?
camera. See, her audio's connecting.
Yeah, maybe she's gonna turn around now.
She's there, but I can't.
There.
Oh, wait,
she
there
is.
she is.
Laura?
She's
Hello?
looking at it.
She's realizing something.
Sorry.
Hello?
Sorry, I didn't even hear you guys come on.
Okay, that's all right. This is Charlie Powers, the Appraisal Review Board. We've got a little administrivia to go through before we get to the heart of the matter, so just bear with us, okay?
Okay.
All right. We're opening a hearing on case ID 2020-1715. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board who will be hearing your protests today. Besides myself, I'm Charlie Powers, is Kathy Hoffman, Cindy Duck, and Robert Dayton at the table. Also, Eamon Burke is here for representing the Appraisal District. We do not work for the Appraisal District. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey where you offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the Appraisal District office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. Survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate you taking it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. We have all your evidence. Is that correct?
Well, I have a quick question. I actually have it's a video, but it's a sound recording of my neighbor's property, but I didn't know how to submit that.
I don't think at this point there is an effective way to do that.
Okay.
The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Laura, I am assuming that you are under oath as you signed the affidavit. Do you understand? You understand that goes for the full hearing?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Eamon?
I, Eamon Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony I shall present to the Appraisal Review Board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Laura, do you hold an appraiser's license in the state of Texas?
I do not.
Okay, and do you have the hearing procedure times page, Andy?
I believe I do. Let me pull it up. I have the stack. So yes, it's here. I just have to find it. Here it is.
You got it?
Yes.
Great. Do you want to go first or do you want the district to go first?
Why don't you guys go first?
Okay, Eamon.
Okay, the subject is 67009. It's located at 101 Breezy Street, is in Captainville. Yep, they're behind Fulton Outlots. That's the subject, the pink one on the corner, next pond. And that street is called Breezy. It was noticed at 172,730. The comps that we have, this neighborhood has just seen some appreciation from market activity in the last couple of years. The first comp is also a 4FB plus that's on Breezy Street, and it sold for $165 in July. And then we have another 4FB plus on Breezy Street, and it sold for $195 in June. And then we have a 4FB plus on Treasure Street nearby, and it sold for $208. Another 4FB plus that sold on Treasure Street for $162. So it's just market activity there in Captain's Bay, which renders a median indicated value when adjusted to be like the subject of $179,704 to $7,000 over what is noticed at.
I'm so sorry. I missed the last part. I'm having a little bit of a hard time understanding.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that the market activity is showing indicated value for this property. It's 179,704.
Okay, thank you.
And then the equity grids is 106 Breezy, 114 Breezy, 108, and 107, all very congruent neighborhood, giving a median indicated equity value of 175,325. And then we have a sales ratio report included for Fulton Outlots, which does include Captain's Bay, and we are at 99.5% in there. Most of Fulton Outlots activity is going to be Captain's Bay. And that's it. You know, it was purchased in 2015, as far as we know, for 162, and has it appreciated $10,000 plus in the last 5 years? Yes, it has. That's all.
Okay, so now, Laura, now you get 2 minutes to cross-examine and then 5 minutes to present. So I'm going to give you 7 minutes.
Okay, so as far as for the cross-examine, I just have a couple questions about the properties that you listed, the 165, 195, 208, and 162. The 195 and 208, were those also 2-bedroom, 2-bath?
We don't really make divisions for bedrooms versus
Okay,
per room, but we just do it by square footage. The let's see, the one that was 165, so yours is 1,033 square feet.
correct, yes.
So the 165 sale was for 1,019, and it was the next one was 195 was 1,257, and then after that the 208 was 1,100 square feet, 70 square feet bigger. The 162,000 sale was 929 square feet, so about 70 square feet smaller.
Okay.
They do get adjustments for size. You know, we're not just gonna, it's not a one-to-one.
Sure. Okay. And then I think as far as, I haven't done this before, so correct me if I'm not presenting this the correct way. But as far as my presentation, did you all receive the pictures that I sent to Val?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason that I would say that my house has not appreciated as much as $10,000 from sale price is because of the property that is across the street from me at Chaparral, or on Chaparral. My property is on the end of the street. Chaparral is fairly busy depending on whether those are CMIS townhomes in the back. And depending on whether that back gate is open, there can be lots of traffic going up and down that road. And then that property that you're looking at right there is derelict. It's in terrible shape. The evidence that I wasn't sure how to submit, and I don't know if I can play it for you now, but I don't know if the gentleman who lives there is running a kennel, but there are dogs barking all day and all night, and not like 1 or 2 dogs, like what sounds like 8 or 9 or 10 or 15 dogs. And there have been a lot of stray cats coming over from that area. It's just completely unkempt. The RV, the sailboat, they put another RV on the property. It's just, and there have been times, not in the recent past, but where the police have had to come there before because he is unruly, which may or may not affect, that person may not affect property value, but I do think that having that eyesore across the street does affect property value.
Do you have anything else?
That's all.
Okay.
Okay, so now district, you've got 2 minutes to cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal.
I don't have either.
Okay, So, Laura, you've got 2 minutes for rebuttal.
I guess I don't have any if you don't have any.
Okay, so now 1 minute for the district closing.
That, it's my opinion, real property appraiser here, that this house is, if anything, very, very, very slightly undervalued. You know, I think the value is fine for the neighborhood.
Okay, so, Laura, now you get 1 minute for your closing.
Okay, I would just say for the record again that I think that based on the location and the surrounding properties, that it is overvalued by the appraisal district.
Are those trailers behind, is that her house?
Where's her
Across the
house?
street,
Across the street.
right here.
Oh, and is that like a trailer park across the street?
Looks like it.
Kind of.
Yes, it is.
It's not behind the property, it's across the
It's
street.
across the street.
And where is it that all the dogs and cats are coming from, that
She
RV?
said here.
They're
Right.
It's the woods. I used to live right back there.
Oh, you
It's just in the
did?
woods, there's just animals.
Well, maybe you're familiar with that property then.
No, I know it very well. My wife and I walk by there all the time.
Does somebody live in that?
Yeah, so well, they're not there very often.
It looks like there's an animal in the picture on the right.
There is one gentleman who, as far as I know, still lives there. There's traffic that comes in and out. I think it used to be 2 brothers living there and now it's just the one by himself.
So your property doesn't have any damage left from the storm?
No, other than I got a new roof. There is some, I don't know how much of it is from the storm, but on the soffit around, I need to get that fixed.
Like it didn't blow off a porch or?
It blew down the fence and blew part of the porch, but I have fixed it since then.
All right. So now the appraisal review board, we get 5 minutes and we may ask questions or whatever, or just discuss, come up with our value.
Well, I think it's unfortunate about the issue across the street, but I don't know how much that affects the value.
Well, when she bought it, was that across the street?
Was that trailer and boat there when you bought when you bought your house?
Those 2 were, yes. There's another new one that may or may not be in that picture. I can't see that wasn't there, but yes, those 2 were there.
That was since 16 through
You
17.
paid $162 for it in 2008.
It seems fairly valued to me.
Yeah.
It's under the equity and.
Well, and that little neighborhood is just gotten so
like
hard.
crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, they're darling, little, nice and clean looking. Okay, so unless anybody has something different to offer, okay. So on account number 67009, taking into consideration the possibility of an incorrect appraised market value, I make a motion that we leave the 2020 value at $172,730.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, well, thank you for participating, Laura.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, good. Bye-bye, and you did a great job presenting.
Thank you. It was worth a try, right? So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all.
Bye-bye. Okay. Are there like some pretzels or something in there? Salt.
The
Now I
vote-
need some salt.
The vote's just a little fixer-upper then.
Right, yes. Oh, no, no.
Here, you all attach them.
This is a phone-in hearing. It is account number 745, or case number 745.
This is the last one.
Well, it like messed up.
How many more you got?
One after this.
One after this.
Is it in person or?
It's a Zoom. This one's phone, the next one's Zoom. This was going to be an in-person, so I would like to ask the appraisal review board if they would approve doing this as a telephone conference.
This one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rather than the in-person that he originally scheduled for. He asked in writing today if he could do that.
I make a motion that we see this as a phone-in or a Zoom meeting.
Second. In favor? Aye. Done.
See now how easy we are? You just ask and we give it to you. Right, Aaron?
He's seeing it.
Over here. Robert, you want to try I know, but they didn't have any pretzels or anything.
Are ready?
Yes. Tell me when they.
Go.
You ready?
Mhm.
Mark? Mark?
Yes, yes. Hello.
Hi. You're Mark Ketrosh, right?
I am.
Very good. This is Charlie Powers at the Appraisal Review Board. We've got some administrative to take care of. I may ask you some questions along the way. Just follow along.
Okay. All right.
On 2020-745, account number 33409. This hearing is being recorded. We're the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protest today. In addition to myself, there's Kathy Hoffman, Cindy Duck, and Robert Dayton on the panel. They're at the table. And Aaron Burke is the district representative. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/surveyarb. The survey is voluntary, but we do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Do we have all of your evidence?
Yes, it's one page.
Okay. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anybody about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 4166F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Mark, I'm assuming that since you signed the affidavit, that you're under oath for the duration of this hearing. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
I, Aaron Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the Appraisal Review Board of the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Mark, do you have a Texas appraiser license?
No.
Okay. Do you have, can you put your hands on the hearing procedure times page?
Yes.
You
Yes.
got it?
I've got it.
Excellent. In that case, you just need to choose who goes first, you or the district.
I'll go ahead and go.
All right.
All right, Charlie, before he
Wait a
begins.
minute.
So Mark,
Yes.
okay, on your affidavit, you marked Q2, which is appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal. But on your form for protest, you marked Q1, which is incorrect appraised market value. So we're only able to hear you on the incorrect or rule on incorrect appraised market value.
Okay. I made a mistake, but I understand why that is the way it is.
Do you
Wait,
have-
what is it on?
Equity.
Equity. He checked value is unequal compared with other properties.
Right. But that is, that's the affidavit on his protest, which we don't have. But he must have done it online. Do you, huh?
I did.
Right. So online, he marked the Q1, because that's, otherwise it wouldn't be on this form.
Okay.
Got it, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay,
you have 5 minutes to make your presentation.
Okay, well, I approached it from the standpoint of trying to understand or normalize, in my mind anyway, the relative values that are being assessed in my particular neighborhood. And I also looked at a property across the street that had sold 4 months after we purchased the property on Patton Street, and actually was sold from the same seller. And one thing that I noticed was that the assessed values on the land in that area seemed to be pretty consistent at around, I think, 6 1/4 a square foot. But when I looked at the values for the 2 properties on either side of me and the 2 properties across the street, I saw a pretty substantial difference, to say the least, between the assessed values for the houses and the other value accepting property. Ours, in order to achieve the market price or the value that we are being assessed on 1114 Patton Street, would require $111 per square foot, whereas the other properties, as you can see, were ranging from 50 to 73. So I filed the protest thinking that this wasn't fair. It didn't exhibit parity. Certainly in the area that we live in, I had some information about the sale of the house across the street, and certainly didn't represent a proportional burden of tax by the community, at least the community in the particular area we're dealing with. In respect with the house across the street that sold, it's according to the appraisal district's information that I think I understood, it was built in 2002. It's slightly larger, I think about 100 square feet larger than our house was built in 1945, and yet it's assessed at a significantly lower value. And I just added some we didn't make any capital improvements since we purchased the property in late 2019 on Patton Street, so there shouldn't have been any uplift for that. And we didn't pay the price that was used in the comps for the property on 1114 Patton Street, and I went ahead and disclosed what we actually paid for that property. So that's the evidence by which I felt that the assessment was unfair. It certainly doesn't represent parity again, and if it's all transaction driven, which you guys maybe can educate me on, then it's certainly not an incentive to invest in the community, because if the assessments are only going to change once a home actually changes hands, I don't think that's fair. That's it.
okay. So now the district gets 2 minutes to cross-examine and 5 minutes to present.
I'm just trying to make sure I got the right number here. Did you pay $129 for this place?
No.
And what was the sale?
We paid $127.5.
$175. Okay.
When did you?
I didn't submit the settlement statement with my evidence because I was advised that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You mean you're saying it now.
18.
But the evidence was just prepared before
November 19th.
Before you did that, so it just doesn't reflect that. That's why I wanted to get that number out there. Okay, so 125. All right. So our evidence, go ahead and present it. 33409, a house on Patton Street in Old Rockport neighborhood. It is 756 square feet. It's a 3 SS plus, so it's kind of a cute little house. Like I said, it's 750 square feet. Originally built in 1945. Wow. Yeah. We don't call it Old Rockport for nothing. And it was, again, purchased this year. The comps we're using are on Patton Street and Live Oak Street. And the first comp is the subject. It doesn't have to be adjusted, it's the best comp. It's sold for, our thing is saying 129, but he's testified it's 127.5. The next comp is also on Patton, and it's a similarly sized house, 802 square feet. And it sold in February for 110. And then the, let's see, and its market value is also its sale price this year, so it's 110. The comp 3 sold for 110, and it's another 7,000 square foot VSS house. And then comp number 4 is another 3SS, a little bit bigger. It's 1165 square feet, and it sold for 100 in February of 2019. So the median indicated market value is 131,072, but I will point out that one of those data points is the 129 sale that was actually 127.5. The equity grid showing other homes in the neighborhood that are in this area. And I will just tell you off the cuff that we're probably just low in this neighborhood. That's probably a reality. We don't have a lot of transactions that we know about. Hard to speculate on a neighborhood that's just quietly appreciating like this. But the median indicated equity value is 130,570, which is over the market value. We didn't do anything unusual to this property. There's other 700 something square foot 3SS homes, and they're similarly appraised. The sale price to square footage might be a little different, but that's because you got all kinds of stuff. You got land and porches and all types of things that factor into that. The sales ratio report is for Old Rockport. We're at 95% of the known market activity there. We're a little bit light in Old Rockport. Stuff just they're supposedly depreciating year over year, but it's hard to stay on top of. But there's something else, but I don't remember what it was. I think that's it.
Is that house currently for sale?
This one?
Yeah.
It says not currently listed. Your house is not for sale, right? Is it?
No, we just bought it.
It's probably the listing.
Yeah. Okay. There is a listing there.
I don't know why this is included. Shows a picture of the house. It says charming older home, close to shopping, kitchen, living room, open combo bath, faucet, tub, pole barn, and basket, 2 vehicles, well maintained.
Oh, is this when he bought it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So just a house, just what you would expect. No surprises.
Cute.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, so is that it, Eamon? All right, so sir, excuse me. Now you get 2 minutes to cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal.
Okay, well, I really don't have anything else to add or to say except that I'd stand by the idea that we seem to be the high outlier of the group of comps that have just been presented. And certainly when you look at the valuations of the other houses that are similar in the neighborhood, we're way out of line. By the simplest valuation that I can come up with, that would be something I could actually put my hands on the numbers for and understand. And I just don't think it's reasonable to think that 2 houses that sold within 4 months of each other that are close to the same, although the house other than ours is slightly bigger and certainly much younger, are appraising for $19,000 difference. They're across the street from each other. And, I've heard you guys say that the house on Patton Street's cute. Well, their house is cute too. I mean, it's a nice house. It's a good house, just like ours is.
That's 6. What?
What did that sell for?
110.
Wait, but which one is?
Well, I'm sorry, it's 110 based on the comp here. I don't know. I don't personally know if that's right.
So that you had knowledge of the house across the street selling?
That is it.
That is it?
Okay. Can you pull up the account for that and see if they would notice that?
Yeah, hold on a second.
It's gonna be 66379.
Where's Pat?
This is it? No?
Nope, 66379. We're looking for 1113 patch.
Huh?
I don't go this way, and Pat goes this way.
There you go. All right, so what was this thing noticed at? Go to values. This was noticed at
128.
128.4. So it was within $1,000 of the subject. They're pretty similar. We noticed them the same. The reason that's 110 is because when somebody comes in and shows us their sale price, we settle for their sale price. It's like, unless there's something odd about the nature of their sale, we'll just go to it for a year as sort of benefit of the doubt, but it's not going to stay 110 next year.
Okay, and when did they buy that house?
Within the past year, just like the subject. They're both purchasing in the same time frame. And we would be willing to do the same thing for the subject property, but
At
it makes a difference of
127.5.
yeah, it makes a difference of $1,500.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
that
Cindy?
is
Actually, 2,000.
sure.
Cindy?
Okay, so, now we're at, cause he did his, okay. So, sir, you get, your 1 minute closing.
I think I said all I needed to say, all I wanted to say before.
Okay?
Thank you.
District, you get 1 minute.
I don't really have much closing. I just wanted to sort of reassure you that we did not initially notice that person at 110. They were noticed about the same as yours. Yours isn't abnormally high for your neighborhood. We're not trying to poke you in the eye for buying it, but that's all.
Okay, so now the appraisal review board gets 5 minutes to discuss this, and I think we should put it back at the 127.
127.5.
127.5.
That was what he bought.
What he said he
Yeah.
paid for it, so.
So it's like, okay, all right, so on account 33409, and taking into consideration the incorrect appraised market value, I make a motion that we lower the total cost on this property to $127,500.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mark,
Yes,
got that?
I got it.
Okay.
All right, and if you
All
would
right.
make a survey, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
And this is
This is Zoom, and the person on Zoom is Patty Van Pelt.
Is this the last one?
Yes.
So we made the 2 hour. Yeah.
We did.
Adjust.
Where's the background?
What number?
11, what is it, 11:30?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's on page
Griff
7 in
didn't,
the
so
middle.
it's, yeah,
Page what?
7 in the middle.
it doesn't say Van Pelt.
No, that's just her name. Driftwood RV Park.
Messing with me
Ah,
11:30. Okay. I'm ready.
now. I'm ready.
What?
Robert, you
No,
ready?
Danny,
Eamon, are you
from
ready?
the last.
Let's go.
What's the lady's name?
Patty Van Pelt.
Patty.
There we go.
Patty?
Is that what y'all do?
I think sometimes, yeah.
Is it connected?
We can see her, we just can't hear her yet.
Patty? Hello?
She's unmuted.
She's there. I mean, she's just.
Hello, Patty?
Patty, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. It doesn't look like you're muted in Zoom, but we're not getting any audio from you.
Is she looking at you?
Yeah, she's talking, but we can't hear her.
Okay, that'll work.
She's gonna call back. See if it picks up.
Yeah, it's not.
Were you reading her lips?
Is that her?
Put up a piece of paper.
Oh, how funny.
What?
She held up, she wrote it down and held
There
up
you
a
go.
piece of
Pass
paper.
that.
Can you imagine doing a whole hearing that way?
Oh, no, she can't. She just said she'd call back.
Mesquite and 35.
She's gonna reconnect.
Oh, it's just across the street from the Hampton, I think.
Ski, is it already booked there?
Yeah, that's the Hampton, I think, isn't it?
We'll have to look.
Yeah, and then that
Oh,
doctor,
there is an already booked.
who's that doctor that's on the corner right
she
there?
is.
of Business 35 in Mesquite.
Okay, go ahead. Well, hold on. Okay,
Patty?
it says audio connecting. Hold on.
Just a second.
Okay,
Patty? Hello?
she just went out.
I can email her with the phone in instructions. Because she communicated with me by email, not online.
And she's back on. Okay.
Patty, if you have headphones or anything plugged in, could you unplug them? You don't? Okay,
She's writing something.
I'm not sure why the mic is muted.
With settings.
Yeah.
We're calling. You just do a phone.
Yeah, I mean, our choppy phone's better than silence. So
Yeah.
we'll just have her call. Yeah, you can just call us on the regular phone line.
Just call us on a regular phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or I can give her these instructions. I can hold it up in front of her.
No, it's some
Okay.
sort of technical difficulty. It's okay. She can call us. Our number's 361-729-9733. So it's a 729 number, but it's 9733. And just give us a call and we'll transfer you to the phone in the back here. Okay, awesome. Oh, you know what? I actually couldn't get a transfer back here before.
Oh, no.
That happened the other day. I was back here doing something.
Why don't you just call her? 210-288-2257.
Oh, okay, you want to restart? All right.
210.
Wait. Not on. Hmm.
Could be her, 210, 288.
No, it's not. Well, it says URL calling is disabled. I'm about to call on my cell phone.
You just hung up on her, Anna. That's not very.
That was
nice.
me.
That is not a good way to get a good report.
The phone back here said URL calling is disabled. I'm gonna have to restart it, see if maybe maybe it
Okay.
didn't like it when it got reset.
I am gonna email her these instructions, just in case it comes down to it.
That would be the preferable.
Okay, Jackie, what's the number?
210,
210
288,
288
2257.
2257.
It's up on the. Got to turn that on. Hello?
Hello, this is Eamon Burke of the Aransas County Appraisal District. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I'm sorry. I think it's something in my settings, but I thought I had everything on.
It's okay, it's okay. Our phones are not real reliable, so we might, let us know if you're having trouble hearing us, okay?
I will. Mine's not either. I'll be talking.
Amy, you need to move it in the center of the table pointed towards Cindy.
This is as loud as it goes.
Okay, no, I mean for her to hear. Patty, can you hear me okay? This is Charlie Powers.
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, we have some administrative things to go through before we get started with the meat of the matter. I'm gonna go through a script and I'm gonna ask you some questions near the end. Just follow along with us.
Okay.
Opening a hearing on case ID number 2020-1130. Account number 70764. This hearing is being recorded. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. Myself, Charlie Powers, Kathy Hoffman, Cindy Duck, and Robert Dayton are the members of the panel. They're all around the table. Eamon Burke is the representative of the district. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey-ARB. Survey is voluntary. We do appreciate it if you take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. We have all your evidence, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Along with y'all.
The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 641.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Patty, I'm assuming that since you signed the affidavit, you're under oath for the duration of this hearing. You understand?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you hold, sorry, Eamon?
I, Eamon Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Yes.
Patty, do you hold an appraiser's license?
No.
Do you have at hand the hearing procedure times page? It was page 5. It was page 5 of the material that the district sent you. It says hearing procedure times.
Yes.
You have it?
Yes, I did.
Great. Okay, then all we need to do is have you choose whether you want to go first or you want the district to go first.
I think I'll go first.
Okay, you got 5 minutes.
All right. I was looking at you know, of other parks that are close to mine, especially like, owner ID 127004, and I'm going to send to you, the Sunrise RV, and theirs is valued at $930,940, and they have all concrete paths, and I do not. And theirs is a brand new park, and mine is not. And so that one, and then like the Econo Lodge is valued at $3.5 million. I mean, I think mine's far worth less than a third of their value, you know. And then Fulton RV Park, same thing. They're valued at $632,000. I know it's a little bit smaller park, but still, it's kind of comparable to what we have. And then there was another one, Easy Living, or Living, and theirs is valued at $880,000, and it was close by. So, you know, kind of the same thing, because the comps that are listed with the ARBs, the comp 1, 2, 3, 4, they all have different things that I do not. And I so we're kind of comp 2, 1, and 2 because their market value was pretty low. So it's kind of really hard to even put something with that. But like number 4, I think that was Majestic RV Park. They have concrete pads. It's been cool. They have a lake or a pond, and theirs is valued at 1.2, and mine is what, almost 1.1. Yeah, 1,094,000. And then let's see which one. Comp number 1. I don't know. It's not the same one that's on this other page, but it shows account number 31745 and 1,013,000, and that one's actually a full mobile home park. And then comp number 2, 14907, is Palm Harbor, so it's waterfront, and I don't have that. And theirs is valued at $1 million. So I'm kind of like, I think mine's overvalued compared to what I found, and also what the appraisal district had as far as comp. When you compare apples to apples, you know. And that's it.
Okay, so now the district gets 2 minutes to cross-examine and 5 minutes to present.
I'll use my cross-examination time to just explain something to you. The reason those other parks are less is because they have less spaces.
They have less spaces?
They have less spaces, yeah. So we're
Well,
picking.
not all of them.
Yeah, all the ones that are less have less spaces.
No, because there was one that had 55.
How many spaces does your park have currently?
Well, there's numbered 55, but there's 2 of them that are not operational, so it's 53.
53. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So just to let you know, we had your park down as having 58 spots.
No.
Okay, so I'll just present my evidence. This is 70764 is Driftwood RV Park on the corner of Mesquite and 35 and Fulton. And it had a notice value of $1,094,580, which is basically the exact same as it was last year. valued as we do with the rest of our mobile home parks on a cost and sales comparison basis. The value of the sites is $10,000 per site, and then there's concrete and pool houses and extra land and all that stuff that's added on top of that. The sales that we have are for one that's on 214 Copano Heights, one that's on 501 Shaver Road, 359 Rattlesnake Point, which actually happened in 2020, and 218 Highway 188, which is a prototypical nice concreted RV park. And you can see the indicated value if it's sold like that was 1.5 million. So we're not saying it's exactly the same, and the buyer's responding to it differently. The median indicated value for the market is 1.17. The subject is at 1.09. The equity is showing other parks with similar number of spaces, and the first one has 76 spaces. The second one has looks like only 12 spaces, probably just close. Then one with 42 spaces, and one with, I don't know how many spaces are in Big Fish RV Park. It's not showing up on here. It's on a separate account card. But the it's calculating that kind of weird. But the median indicated equity value is 1,106,694, which is right on top of where we are, because, like I said, we're all just doing them the same way. The after that, the sales ratio report for just RV parks for the last 2 years, and we are at 1.01% weighted mean and 0.96, the 96% average for RV parks. And if there's only 53 spaces, then it should have $50,000 taken off. And that's all.
All right, so now you've got 2 minutes to cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal.
I'm sorry, couldn't see.
You have 2 minutes for cross-examining and 2 minutes for rebuttal. So you have a total of 4 minutes.
Okay. All right, well, my thing is, I just don't think that the comps are comparable. And when you look, I mean, I'm not sure why the comp right next door to me wasn't pulled. I mean, it is at, like directly next to our property,
So what
and
is
there's a
that?
site at $930,940, and they have concrete. They may not have the same price, I think they do.
You're
But they
back
also
here.
have concrete taps, and we do not.
That would be it. I
And
guess.
there's another one that's directly across the highway, the Fulton RV Park, and it's like half the value of mine, and it's not half the size. And it's probably a little more.
That isn't it, because that's storage right there.
And then same thing with this Easy Living RV Park. I think it's more comparable to our park, and it's valued at $880,000. So that's really good value. And so I just think a little more fair to look at the park closer to mine and have the same amenities than these other ones that have concrete pads, ponds, large swimming pools, newer facilities, and that kind of thing.
Can we ask what the one that you said first of all that was newer and had all concrete?
I think it's right here.
What streets is it on?
Let's see. The Majestic Post is on 88. And then this other one that's on the bypass, I don't know what it's called.
Wait, but the first one is what Majestic Oaks?
Yes, we go, yeah, y'all have a tax ID number 88197038.
763.
Thank you.
703.
703 is Rustic RV Resort. And it has
And it's got a mark.
40 spaces.
40 spaces.
950.
It has 40 spaces and it does have 34,000 square feet of concrete.
I'm sorry?
Just basic, the account for a rustic RV park has 40 spaces and it has 34,275 square feet of concrete. It's got a tennis court. Like we're not ignoring all the other things. There's also little cabins on it that were picked up.
And how much was it assessed for this 2020?
915,300.
Yeah, and then, well, y'all can keep looking.
Also,
The other one was
I'll
on
just-
the 510.
We sold them 16 for
Well, actually,
150.
two of them were 510.
58, so that's not
One, prop number 3, property ID 64966, and the other one was, property ID 881771.
Yeah, I mean, all of our RV parks are valued the same. They're $10,000 per space, which is mostly the utilities that's driving that. The other amenities, like if it's got concrete or significant roads or clubhouse or anything like that, pools, that gets added on top of that, including the land. The land is separated from that as well.
Amen.
Okay,
Yeah, but that's,
it doesn't seem quite right, though.
but it's actually working out really well. It's like predicting sale prices of, it's working pretty well to predict sale prices of RV parks. It's a difficult thing to do, but you know, that's what that sales ratio report was showing. Our number is 99% of what these things are selling for. We're actually still a little low on places that have cabins.
Okay.
Okay, so ma'am,
I'm sorry?
okay, so right now, it's the district gets 2 minutes for rebuttal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was
Okay.
only-
I'm sorry.
I wasn't asking questions.
Oh, okay, so you're
Yeah.
okay, so ma'am, now you get 1 minute for closing.
Well, I still feel like, this comp number, where is it? Oh, it's comp number 3 and 4, 6496 and 8817. I mean, when they have a market value, the first one of $824,880, that may be the case if y'all are valuing them so much per space. But the value should be per space based on the concrete, if they're not, if they have concrete roads, if not, because this is the total market value. And the same with the second one, it's got a market value of 660, 650. And it had a pond, concrete path. Yeah, it just doesn't seem quite the same thing with this other one, 8819-703. A total market value of $950 to $300. They have concrete tanks, a huge swimming pool, cabin, the pond, and they're valued at $915,000.
Okay.
This is almost close to me or much more, including the one right next.
Okay. So now, the district gets their 1 minute for closing.
I'll just point out again that we had 58 spaces and she's testified that there's 53.
Okay. And then the appraisal review board gets 5 minutes to discuss this. Okay. I have a question. Because the one that she had us look at, So if you took that 915,300, this is very simplified. So I know there's gonna be other things.
Right.
You take the 915,300 and you add back in 12 more spots. Okay, so you add 120,000 to that.
Okay.
Okay, and this is new, it's concrete, it's got the tennis courts, and that comes to $1,035,300 compared to her $1,094,580. And that's just right there in the same area. So there shouldn't be a difference in the.
That ends up being about the same as adjusting the number of spaces.
We're gonna take 50,000 off for the.
For the number of
different
spaces.
number of
But I will
spaces.
point out that in that case, the one that you're using as a comp sold like 3 or 4 years ago for 1.2 million.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
So if we take 50,000 off for the,
Right.
for the other pads that aren't there, it would be 1,044,580.
Yes. Okay, Charlie, you agree? Okay, good. All right, so ma'am, on account number. Oh, it's in the left. 70764, taking into.
she's making the motion on your property.
Oh, okay. Taking into consideration the possibility of the incorrect appraised market value and the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal, I make a motion that we lower the value for 2020 to $1,044,580. And if you would please adjust the card to only show 53
Just put a note in there.
Okay, well, we
CTPs
can't do it
or
right now.
whatever.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Okay, so did you hear what we lowered your value to reflect the correct amount of CTPs?
And what was the amount you lowered to?
$1,044,580.
So all you'll do is take off the 50,000.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll get something in the mail
Just flat value.
from the appraisal
Okay.
district, and it'll, have that number on it, and it'll tell you the steps going forward.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
all right, thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. For some reason, that didn't look like it.
I just didn't know if you were
Right,
gonna
right,
load it
next
or
to
what
it,
you
stop. We have one letter. There we are.
Oh. Okay, to Aransas County Appraisal Review Board. It's pretty hard to argue that. I am writing to request that my hearing be rescheduled for a later date. I tested positive for COVID-19 on July 10th. I was like, oh, okay. And was not released from quarantine until this past Friday, the 24th. Due to this, I was unable to collect my mail nor check my emails, as I was not allowed to return to my office, and I had used my work email address for communication. Therefore, I just received notice of my scheduled hearing and have not had time to collect the necessary documentation needed. Also, I would not be able to appear in person per your restrictions for people testing positive for the coronavirus. Because of these reasons, I respectfully request that my hearing be rescheduled for a later date that would allow an in-person hearing. Your consideration is greatly appreciated, and it's signed Nathan Garcia. I think he's the policeman, Nathan. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wait,
Because
so-
five of our policemen got, at least
Yeah.
5. Yes.
Yeah. When was he scheduled?
Today.
It was for today.
Today is the
Oh,
20th.
it's timely.
Yeah, it was for today. He emailed me. I gave him his options and he chose to ask y'all if he could reschedule.
I think that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, he's within his time limit and he did, we don't want him in here.
Because he was supposed to be here the 24th.
No,
Today.
Oh, today, I'm sorry. What was I thinking? Oh, that's when he was able to finally, got it, okay. Okay, it's an email. I was getting ready to freak out. I was like, oh my God, did he touch this and send it to him?
No, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, he's within his time frame, so, I mean, that's like not even a, no. Because actually, when I worked for the school district and I would vet the police in the same way, I could not.
Oh, really?
I could not. Okay, and it's,
Okay, let's have a motion.
Make a motion.
so I make a motion based on what we read in this letter from Nathan Garcia, that we allow him to reschedule his hearing simply because he's absolutely within his 4 days of request.
I second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Yay.
I'll
Second?
second that.
In favor?
Yay.
Aye.
Do we have a busy day tomorrow now?
I believe so. Yeah. busy week.
It's weird, Robert. They put stuff in it that makes it time out and everything on. It's very good. I mean, and they like know when you've gone on it and they would call you on it. And you just be like, really?
Do you want to sign the orders in the morning? Or do you wanna do it?
Oh, no,